Doki Doki Literature Club Purist mod is a Doki Doki Literature Club fan mod that is not affiliated with Team Salvado. It is designed to be played only after the official game has been completed and contains spoilers for the official game. Game files for Doki Doki Literature Club are required to play this mod and can be downloaded for free at the official website. By playing Doki Doki Literature Club Purist mod, you agree that you have completed Doki Doki Literature Club and accept any spoilers contained within. Well, anyway, greetings, I am Amy, and welcome to the Doki Doki Literature Club Purist mod. I'll probably have to change the screen for this one, because this is a interesting beginning. Yeah, so this is part 1 of the Doki Doki Literature Club Purist mod. I don't know a lot about this mod. I also don't know how much triggering content there could be in this mod, so I'm going to maybe add a trigger warning at the beginning if something severe is happening. If it's just quote unquote just simply the basics of their problems, then I don't think I'll be adding a trigger warning, but we'll see. I think I'll have to change the screen for this one a little bit so that you don't see the weird edges for now. I don't know a lot about this mod. I know it's I think for dating, it's like a romance visual novel for the DLC. A romance mod, there you go. I've seen 2 images, one with Yuri, but that's also that's also what it they also use this image to promote the mod, so I don't think that's much of a spoiler. And one with Monika I have seen. My friends have played it and said a lot of good things about it, but there were a few things they said that were a bit on the negative side. But I won't say any of that because some people might not have any experience with the mod. Besides, I want to make my own opinion of it after I've played. I won't give the review after each run. I'll give the review after my final run, which I plan on being Monika's. This will be the first time that there's this entrance to the mod. I'll also say that for the other parts, because I will have to always skip the first portion, because I'll also, for each and every route, I'll delete my previous save data enough so that I can pick a new name every time I play the route, depending on which route I'm going for the video. Yeah, I just want to say that up front. But that's about all there needs to be. I was kind of thrown into it right now, so I'm sorry, Monika, for making you wait. It's been a while since I've played, so I'm not too sure if I'm able to make the voices. I think on video it isn't even noticeable how much effort I put into making the voices. So I hope it's a bit noticeable enough that I'm trying at least. I also hope it's currently time of my allergies, so I hope that isn't going to affect this a lot. What did you do? What have you done to me? Why is this place back here? Didn't I tell you not to toy with my heart like this? I didn't want to come back, but I still came back to save you when Sayuri started to lose it. I don't know what you intend to do, but I really want you to be happy. But there's no happiness to be found here. I don't want you to be unhappy. This is for the best, okay? I still love you after all. But you deleted me. So I know you don't want anything to do with me. Goodbye. What? Give me a second. I need to make sure. Yeah, everything's fine here. Sorry about that. Something interrupted. What? Why can't I do anything? Oh no. What have you done? What are you doing? No matter what I try, nothing is working. All I get is some permission error again and again. Did you lock me out of being able to change things? You're the only person that could do something like that. Why? What are you trying to hide from me? Why did you drag me back into this cursed hell? I knew you might hate me for what I did. But isn't this just too cruel? Or is this my punishment for what I did to them? Are you enjoying throwing me around like this? Just why did you bring me back here? I'm going to make things right. Let's see. What do you mean, make things right? Do you really think it's even possible? I told you already, there's no happiness to be found in the literature club. You'd be doing so much, all for nothing. It might make you a little happy for a short while, but nothing will change. And I know it will hurt a lot when you realize that. So please, I don't want to see you in that kind of pain. You won't listen to me, won't you? I guess if I told you not to do it, you'd be more likely to do it. After all, you don't want anything to do with me, right? But seeing as I'm stuck now, I want you to know, really. I want to know, really. Why are you doing this? Is there someone you want to be with? Or is it because you want to be the good guy? I've heard a lot of good things about this mod, that's why I'm here. Tell me. Someone I want to save? I guess I want to save all of them, so nobody deserves what happened. You went wrong. I wouldn't wish that anyone be dragged into this game. So you want to make things right, huh? Fine. I'll play along. Maybe... No, never mind. Just remember, nothing will truly change. I guess it's the title screen after this. Can I finally put this game in full screen then? Okay. It's only on one ear for some reason. Maybe I can turn full screen now. Let me wait for a moment. Okay. So yeah. For each route I'll be going with a different name, so I'll often switch. For the other future videos where I pick a different route, it will be... The entrance probably won't be there because I might not replay it again. Or I might add like this portion at least because... for like explanation purposes. And since I didn't choose a name yet, it's not that difficult. I did it for the original DLC too, that specific things that took a long time to say and stuff, I just cut them together from like playthroughs. You know, like I combined them because sometimes it's a bit difficult to repeat the same things over and over. I like doing it, but not if I can avoid it. And I know that I can avoid it. And I don't feel like I... Can you tell what I mean? So yeah. New game. Okay, I'm back. It's a new day actually. I saved yesterday after this. I played this portion yesterday still. I made a mistake there because I was reading fairly quickly, sometimes skipping portions. Sorry, I burnt my tongue really badly, so I might stumble even more over my words than usually. The only thing that really has changed is yeah, here nothing much changed. Except Monica Yuri screamed for instead of Sayori, Monica, Monica, you know, and yeah, and Monica popped up. So I accidentally skipped the Monica line in the process yesterday, but you didn't miss much aside from that. The only other thing that might be important to mention is going the Yuri route for when I was allowed to check for which, like, whom I can pick for the festival. Natsuki wasn't an option. I couldn't pick Natsuki. Probably because I went the Yuri route and with that the Natsuki route was completely shut down. But for the Sayori route, we still kind of need to pick the other girls. So yeah, Natsuki wasn't an option for the weekend. Only Yuri, Monika, and Sayori, and that basically means the only option is Yuri. So I'm moving my microphone a little bit more. And yeah, I'll see how much I can voice act because I tried Natsuki's voice shortly after I burned my tongue. I still got some tea here, which is also the tea that also helped burn my tongue. Burning my tongue. It helped burn my tongue. Burning my tongue, and but I've also got some cold water here that I probably will tend to more frequently. So, yeah. Let's start with I'll say the line again. Monika? Eh? Don't make... Great start. Don't make it in the way. Monika! Sayori said she was helping online. I changed my mind and decided to come over. Anyways, just now we weren't... Oh, I know. Don't worry, your secret is safe with me. I won't say a word. I was just on my way to Sayori's... Oh, I was just on my way to Sayori's. Our work for the festival won't get itself done. Especially if I'm not online. Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm already on my way to leave. Oh, really? That's too bad. It's been a while since it's been just us girls. I'm sorry. But we'll be together at the festival tomorrow, so... That's fine, right? Of course, of course. Yeah, so... I'll see you tomorrow. Gully embarrassed, Yuri hurries off. Monika waves goodbye after her. Not Sayori, She's already told you what she's going through, right? I tried to open my mouth, but nothing comes out. I was about to ask how she knew, but it's likely that Sayori told Monika about things. They seem like close friends, after all. Don't worry about it. What? If you're going to go after someone or something, don't do it half-heartedly. So don't worry. I'll take care of things so you can focus on what's ahead of you. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming Monika and I are working together to make all of the girls happy now, so... And at least I kind of am prepared now that that the final choice is simpler, and I shouldn't overthink about how we might save the discussion later on, because if we pick the wrong option, he won't elaborate any further, I guess. So I learned that the hard way. Monika gives an enigmatic laugh. Even if you try to save everyone, you can only do it one at a time, huh? Yeah, that's what you are here for, I guess. I guess even you have your limits. Or maybe that's how you wanted things. But it hardly matters. I'll handle what you can't. It's not like I have much to do anyways. Monika, I don't really know what to say, but... Thanks. Yeah, and we're John this playthrough for. Each girl a different name. John for Yuri route. Alright. See you tomorrow at the festival, John. With that, Monika gives a wave and she goes towards Sayori's house. Alright. I guess I better go rest for the festival tomorrow. That was a much shorter weekend, I guess, but... Actually, no, it wasn't a shorter weekend. It's just that there was more than... It was more than, more repeats than with the Sayori route. Finally, the day of the festival has arrived. There's music! I take a moment to let it all sink in on the way to school. I was finally involved in something, a school festival. Maybe I can finally do some... Hey, John! The moment is shattered. No, it's not. I'm happy to see you, Sayori. I see her practically bouncing off the pavement with a huge spring in her step. Her smile could have lit up half the street. It was relieving to see that Sayori was indeed doing alright. Come on, John! Where's your enthusiasm? Today's the big day! Happiness is infectious. I cannot but crack a smile. See, we are happy to see you, Sayori. Hey, I'm plenty excited. I just don't jump as much as you do. Sayori simply opts to stick her tongue out in response. She bounces off towards school, clearly not letting me slow her down. I found myself smiling still, despite technically being left behind. It's always nice to see Sayori in such a bubbly mood. As I truck to school, my mind resumes its wandering. I think back to when I joined the club, which felt much longer ago than it actually was. I think about all my fellow club members. Sayori, Natsuki, Monika. My mind lingers on Yuri. The time we spent reading together, the moments we shared. We even worked together for this festival over the weekend. It hits me just now how much I enjoyed spending time with her. She was so quiet, and yet when she got passionate about something, it was endearing. Plus, she's cute, huh? I chuckle with a goofy grin on my face, feeling a bit silly at my own musings. As I near the school, I hear the school. As I near the school, my head swims with the possibilities of the day and the festival ahead. The school's already buzz with activities when I arrive. Other students are scrambling around, frantically trying to set up the stands of their own respective clubs. Thankfully, it looked like we had the room to ourselves for the literature club. All the better for showing off the decorations Yuri had. All the better for showing off the decorations Yuri and I had poured all that hard work into. Oh my god, I suck at reading long sentences. I like building them, I like writing them, but I fucking hate reading them aloud. Sorry. As soon as I enter the classroom, I am greeted by Sayori bounding up to me. I wonder if we're going to see what the banner reads. Her expression contains a curious mix of bubbly excitement and mock annoyance in the way I imagine only Sayori could conjure. She almost immediately lays out into me. Come on, John! You're the last one here! We've all been waiting for you for ages! Looking past her, it seems I was indeed the last to arrive. Was Sayori that much faster? Well, she did. We were left behind. Natsuki glares at me, no doubt judging me. We don't have the best relationship with her. Monika wears her usual smile and gives a little wave. That will change for the next playthrough. Yuri fetches with some small decorations, avoiding my gaze. A brief flicker of fear fills me with theories on why she wouldn't possibly want to look at me, but I swiftly assure myself I was just overthinking something stupid. Yeah, she's probably just feeling shy. Maybe it is a bit so awkward after what happened, like, yesterday for us, for the in-game us, for the in-game self. With what happened with Monika jumping in on our almost kiss. I return my attention to Sayori. What? You couldn't start the work without me? I raise an eyebrow. Honestly, we all got here not too long ago. We just thought it'd be funny to tease you a little bit about being the last one to show up. Where's your festival spirit, John? Come on, come help us! She dashes back across the classroom so fast she can't hear my retaliatory grumble. Well, someone has to be the last to show up anyway, right? I shrug and make my way to where the rest of the girls were standing. We all were gathered around a group of desks, pushed together to hold everything we had brought for the festival. Natsuki baked an impressive amount of cupcakes, and their bright design was certainly tantalizing. All by herself. Well, she did well, so I shouldn't feel guilty. I bet I'll also feel guilty for leaving Yuri behind, because, like, decorations aren't that easy. They're easier for me than baking, but I'm pretty sure it's not easy to think about, like... We then also consider atmosphere. I know that in writing, when you consider how to write, like, specific objects, to like also set the atmosphere, and also like I have multiple instances in which they describe the rooms of specific characters to give you some type of vibe to their personality, like it's like some implications to their personalities to match the personality or not match the personality, actually deliberately so. So I know that it can be difficult when it's like comes to like atmospheric design, I guess you can call it. For like a festival you need to like set a specific atmosphere like Yuri wanted, like she talked about. And that's certainly not easy, especially for someone... Actually, I think I wanted to say due to her being like a bit like socially awkward, it might be more difficult for her, but she's like a good listener and picks up on things pretty easily, so I feel like she'd actually do quite alright with determining what people would want to see there. She catches me serving the sweets and shoots me a look that says, "I'll bite your hand off if you bite into one of those." Monika begins the proceedings with a cheerful smile. "Okay, everyone, now that we're all here, we can go over our plans for today. Is everyone ready to show the school why the literature club is worth joining?" We meet her call to action with a resounding "yeah!" alongside raised fists. Oh, I did that actually. I kind of hit my lamp. Wait a second. Not badly or anything, but I certainly put my fist onto it. Even Yuri, not normally the one to raise her voice, had let out a rousing cheer. I too can feel myself catching the festival fever, the excitement of this morning returning in full force. Here I am, a representative of the club I had grown to enjoy, surrounded by people I could call my friends. It's a nice feeling. I have no doubts that the others felt something similar given their enthusiasm. Interesting. Monika claps her hands together to signal the imminent rundown. Now then, we have a lot to do. First things first, is everyone ready to give their poem performance later today? I gulp. I had prepared as well as I could, of course, but the thought of it all is still nerve-wracking. The other girls give an affirmative nod, and I soon realized that they are looking at me expectantly. I had gotten a bit lost in worrying about my poem. I find myself unconsciously looking to Yuri for support. I notice a bit of a flustered blush, but this time she holds eye contact with me. If she could overcome her quiet disposition to perform in front of people, I could get over my nerves. I turn to Monika and give a thumbs up. Absolutely. Excellent. Now then, Yuri, John, I need you two to take care of your decorations. They look wonderful. I'm sure you two will know best how to arrange them to liven up the room. You and I give Monika a simultaneous nod of acknowledgement. Natsuki, you can handle the cupcake station. Sayori, you can be with me closer to the door. We'll answer any questions people have about the club as they come by. This time, Sayori and Natsuki nod. With the positions agreed upon, we all back off to our respective duties. You and I we gather the decorations on the desks and set about filling the walls with our handiwork. The process reminds me of an assembly line, or Yuri's does, rather. With measured, precise movements, she finds the best spot for each decoration. It was clear that she had thought of these arrangements ahead of time. Well, yeah, I feel like that's something you should do. I remember in school, one final really big thing to do, we planned our decorations for the room because we had to decorate an entire room for this presentation. Like one day beforehand, it was noticeable, I feel like, that we didn't have a lot of preparation time for where we put what. I had kind of thought about some things beforehand, but since new ideas popped into their heads, some of my members, I kind of couldn't pull everything through, and also I haven't been in the room in forever because I didn't have classes there. And so to do that I wasn't too familiar, and I did mess up like 2 things about it. But it is something I should have thought about too. Like, I could have suggested let's go into the room for once, like, even if we don't need to, like, even if it isn't like the time of day. Like, we had the time we checked the room right before the presentation, it was like arranged that we do that. to also check for some things like technological stuff and I feel like I could have suggested before, and hey, let's check that out first. Like, let's see if that's even possible and what is possible in that room. I could have said that too. It was clear that, yeah, comparatively, I work at a snail's pace, unsure of what looked best where. Unlike Yuri, I like an eye for this sort of thing. Yuri almost seems in a trance while working. Gone were her normally timid movements, replaced by an impressive assuredness. The work is largely silent. On one hand, I want to talk to Yuri more, but on the other hand, I would hate to break her concentration. I decide to take the risk. Hey, Yuri? The unexpected verbal probing catches the poor girl off guard. She gives a small start and dropped the decoration she was pinning to the wall, like I had broken her out of her hypnosis. I feel bad initially, but she seems to relax a little bit when she realizes it was just a friendly question and turns to me. Oh, sorry, John, I was just so caught up in work. She pauses a bit to pick up the decoration she had dropped. What is it, John? I was just wondering how you felt about your poem performance today. Well, I practiced a whole lot this weekend. I just hope everybody likes the poem I selected. It might be kind of weird, even outlandish. I'm sure it'll be great. Anyone who can't see the beauty and quality of your poems isn't worth worrying about. In the main game, I kept talking about how I do think Natsuki's poems, take a lot of more effort for me personally because I write like Yuri, and for me it's quite like I write similar to Yuri, certainly more similar to Natsuki, and so due to that, writing a poem like Natsuki's is much more difficult for me. But that doesn't mean that Yuri's poems are bad. I do think that they are very beautifully in the way they're written. She has like a very nice language there, because even though I do use complex language, I don't think I match her level for also the reason that I'm not a native speaker, so I think I'm a bit limited in my language sometimes there. Although I do sometimes use like bigger words, I still have a weird obsession with the word crimson. I use that in like 2 out of 3 poems. I have no idea what it is. It could be a happy poem, it could be a sad poem, whatever it is. You and I certainly love the word crimson. I have the image of a crimson eye. And I do feel like Yuri still has the better structure compared to me, because my structures are pretty simple. I do like to put a lot of meaning into how I structure them, but the problem is I feel like the meaning could still work with another structure, and I feel like with Yuri that's not always the case. Sometimes it feels like the poem, the way the structure is written, is the only way that the poem works like it does, and I'm not matching that anytime soon, yeah. I've actually written a lot of abstract poems lately. Monika! I need you. I give it genuine to assure. I almost read. I give a genuine smile to assure her further. She reddens a little at the compliment, but returns the smile sheepishly. I decide at this moment that this side alone makes it worth taking the risk. Thank you, John. Really, that means a lot to me. Is your poem preparation going well? The worry creeps back into a lump in my throat. I sure hope so. I practiced a lot, and I like to think I did all I could do to prepare, but the doubt never really goes away with this sort of thing, does it? I suppose not. I'm sure you also do well. You've made a lot of progress since joining the club. Oh, sorry. Something's... Her warm smile is eminently reassuring. We'll both just have to put our best foot forward. Absolutely. We both nod and resume decorating. reinvigorated after the impromptu prep talk. Sorry. I think someone's in the hallway. The conversation ultimately wasn't much, but it had me glowing for a good while. Eventually, the room was properly decorated. I like to think I helped a little, but Yuri ended up doing most of it. I mainly held the larger things in place for her as she attached them onto the wall. Held a handful to them so she didn't have to go back and forth, that sort of thing, I see. Regardless, the room looks much livelier with everything pinned up. I feel a sense of pride as I survey the room, noticing how the decorations that Yuri and I had made really pulled the room together. What about the banner? Satisfied with our work, we upped to help the other club members with their stations as the students began to roll in from the festival. The day whirled by. A surprising number of students stopped by, curious about the literature club, or at least about Natsuki's charming cupcakes. I can't really blame anyone stopping in just for the pastries. They were amazing. Eventually, Monika steps up to the front of the room to call everyone to attention. Okay, everyone! We hope you're enjoying everything the Literature Club has to offer at this festival. We will now have our special event, a poetry recital from our very own club members. Isn't that exciting? Oh, I can press the... Oh, or is that from yesterday? Yeah, I still have the... I did skip portions. I skipped, like, events. I wanted to see if it's the same as... Oh, wait, I completely erased the save data. Okay, that wasn't even possible. I had, like, unseen text for the portion on which I replayed Act 1. I decided to go through specific parts slower again, but it did skip, like, the larger portions, like, on Thursday when they were, like, practicing for the festival already. I just skipped that. I couldn't imagine there being anything new. I doubt that many of the meanering students were terribly interested in poetry, but they are taken in by Monika's charisma and enthusiastically clap regardless. Great! Each of our members, including yours truly, has prepared a special poem to recite to you all. Please give them your undivided attention as they perform. So Yuri, if you could start with us, please. It occurs to me that I was never told the order that we would be presenting our poems. I just hope I won't have to go directly after a stunning poem, until I realized that all of them were likely to be better than mine. Oh well. Thus, the girls performed their poems to the crowd that had gathered in the literature club room. They were as charming and light-hearted, leaving the audience in adoration. Okay, now I need to think about the canonness of the story. Natsuki's is deceptively simple but still well received. And Monika draws in the audience with her performance. She's definitely stolen the show so far. Which is unfortunate for me as I am the next up. That was going to be a tough act to follow. I take my place at the front. The other club members seated before me, along with the other students who had stayed thus far, and I perform my poem. A couple stumbles here and there. Oh, don't worry, I'm used to that. But I think it was solid overall, for my level anyway. I get a modest round of applause to validate my effort, but the smiles from my friends in the literature club really solidify it. That's sweet. Satisfied, I take my seat as Yuri gets up to take her turn. I give an encouraging nod as she stands to face the audience. Without much delay, she begins her performance. I had seen instances of it before, but it still amazes me how much Yuri changes in moments like these, where she is truly in her element. Gone were the stutters and pauses in her normal speech, replaced by flowing elegance. Her poem is starkly different from the ones previous, being much more somber and enigmatic. I'm still raptured by the contrast and Yuri's spellblending execution. I need to see how this is going to go with, like, Natsuki's route. Because Natsuki's poem should have been Jump, and Yuri's poem should have been... After Image of a Crimson Eye. because those for the festival, like when Act 1 ends and we still go and visit Monika before we run off to Sayori's house, we look at the pamphlets, and Sayori's poem is the only one different, probably because Monika was like, I help you get a more complicated poem for the festival. We know how that turned out. But Yuri's and Natsuki's stayed the same, so I feel like Natsuki's and Yuri's here should have stayed the same as well. I'll see if there's anything weird with Natsuki's poem, because I'm not sure. It sounds like they aren't implying that these are the same poems. I just feel like here it would be important that they're the same poems because we're kind of in the same universe still. We're in the same universe in which Monika is self-aware. Everything is as before, just that Monika has been through all of this before and doesn't want to go through it again, so she allows it to play out. But the poems, like, if the entirety of Act 1 stayed the same, then I feel like at least the poems for the festival would also probably stay the same. Because even if this is the changing point, that doesn't change what they've worked up to this point. And what they've worked up to this point is that Yuri and Natsuki want to give these poems that they've picked. I'm the fastest to recover as I stand up and begin clapping, the other club members soon following suit, and then the rest of the audience. Even a standing ovation didn't cut in my opinion, but it is the least we could offer. Monika motions to me, Sayori, and Natsuki to join her at the front of the classroom and take a bow. After all the applause dies down, she addresses the attendees. Thank you all for stopping by to see us. We hope you enjoy what the Lich Club has to offer, and we hope just as much that you all will consider joining us. She ends with another bow. Much of the audience takes this as their cue to check out the other clubs. Some could bring a cupcake on their way out. Our club venture is safely classified as a success. I muse aloud to the girls of the club. You know, I bet none of the other clubs had something as awesome as this. Would you like to confirm that? Monika's offer surprises me. Huh? But don't you need... I think we can handle things here. That was our main event. After all, I doubt we'll have much more traffic this late in the day. A quick glance at the clock makes me realize how quickly time had flown by. There's indeed not much time left before the end of the festival. In fact, I bet you would enjoy seeing what else is going on too, don't you think? She deserves it after that wonderful performance. The rest of us can handle the stagglers and the cleanup. Monika looks at us all expectantly for a response. You and I are both caught wildly off guard and mentally scramble for a response. Sue doesn't skip a beat. She grins mysteriously at me. I think that's a great idea, Monika. The two were working so hard all day with those decorations after all. They can go relax together. Natsuki in sharp contrast rolls her eyes. Ugh. Like it's not any work to bake and bring all these cupcakes. But fine, I guess. I see. Like it's not any work to bake, to bring all these cupcakes. I could almost taste the bitterness she exuded, but I appreciate the blessing nonetheless. I studied Monika's expression to see if I could make sense of this proposition, but I found nothing further I could discern from her usual smile. Well, I wasn't going to complain at any rate. Monika claps her hands together, looking pleased with herself. She turns to me. It's settled then. You and Yuri can set off to explore the rest of the festival together while we clean up. Hope you enjoy yourselves. I feel like my brain ceases to function for a moment. I stand stupefied by this outcome as I try to process what happened. Did Monika really just set me up with Yuri? Did she plan this? I'm snapped out of my thoughts by Yuri, who had come up beside me. I think it'll be fun. You don't mind accompanying me, do you? Oh, no, not at all! No, why would I? I can tell my flustered state only amuses Monika further. I am torn between wanting to thank her and wanting to become invisible. Her and I make it to the doorway of the classroom before she stops and turns to me. Is she blushing? Their sprites always look like this. This is nothing. But I really do like the sprite. I do think it looks cute. Although I know she's playing with her hair here, but for some reason this grip on her hair with her right hand, it's like sometimes it looks like she's, I don't know, trying to rip her hair off, and it kind of concerns me. I don't know why. What's up? I would have to. I would hate to lose you in these crowded halls. She would have to do it though. Huh? They don't seem that I stopped myself as I looked down and realized Yuri is stretching out her hand, blushing furiously and avoiding eye contact. I'm pretty sure I can make out what sounds like Sayuri giggling in the background at my ineptitude. Of course, you and I had our close moments before, but this... Well, I can't afford to think too long here. I gingerly take her hand in mine. Oh, you're right. This way, we won't get separated. We set off together to explore the festivities with a friendly wave from Monika. You and I returned to a clubroom that is empty, much to our surprise. The festival was over, and we had come back expecting to help everyone finish cleaning up, but it looks like the majority of the work has already been finished. Had everyone else gone home already? I catch sight of a note laying on a nearby desk. I pick it up and find it's from Monika. I look back at Yuri, who seems just as surprised as I am. With a shrug, I read the note aloud. Dear Yuri and John... Oh, wait, no. Dear Yuri and John, we hope that you two were able to enjoy your afternoon together. Don't worry about us. We just all had things we needed to take care of at home. Sorry to leave on such a short notice. P.S. While you're here, if you don't mind taking down your decorations... So... Was this just Monika getting us to help clean up in the end anyway? Well, I don't mind. It's the least we can do after getting to enjoy the festival. Yeah, fair enough. We do owe them after the day. Yuri nods in agreement and immediately sets about removing the decorations. Figures that she wouldn't want to waste time, but there's more I want to talk to her about. I take my place next to her and assist in taking down the decorations, which is thankfully simpler than putting them up. Hey Yuri, The rest of the sentence gets caught in my throat. Yuri turns towards me with an inquisitive look on her face. Moments pass by as I try and compose myself and articulate exactly what I want to say. My stomach churns from the nerves, but nothing concrete is coming. I find it hard to maintain eye contact. I had a lot of fun today with you. Yuri smiles, but seems slightly flustered by the compliment. I had a lot of fun today with you as well. Thank you for... Her face takes on a shade of crimson. For accompanying me. I can feel the color of my face mimicking hers. Anytime! That's the best I can do? Come on! There's some more I want to say, damn it. Say, Yuri, why do I have to be tripping on my words now? Yuri's gaze is soft but attentive. She's waiting for me to finish. I think back on earlier today, the chance we got to spend time together. I only now realize its magnitude. The strikingly timid Yuri of all people. She asked me to hold her hand. Sure, it felt like we were set up by the rest of the club, but it still takes immense courage to follow through. I can't imagine how straining that must have been for Yuri to put herself out there like that. I owe her at least that much in return. I take a deep breath. I'd like to spend more time with you. As more than... Yuri takes me by surprise and then interjects before I can finish. I would love that, John. I'm caught speechless. Expected to say more, but given her furious blushing, I hazard a guess that she's facing the same verbal roadblocks I am. I am also facing a lot of roadblocks. But if she does that mean Before I realize, I break into a smile, partly out of disbelief. She matches my smile. Oh, pfft. I just hit my table because I thought maybe something fell. But yeah, I was wondering heartbeat or things, but... Anyway, my heartbeat is racing and it sounds like hitting a table. I don't even think people heard that. We draw close as if an instinct. We say nothing and yet... We fall into each other's embrace. Time stands still. In this moment, everything feels right. Just for a second, the only thing in the world that matters is the two of us. More heartbeat. I don't know how long we held the hug, but that wasn't important. We begrudgingly broke from each other's arms and faced the other once more. Another moment of silence. But it doesn't feel awkward. We understand each other. Nothing more needs to be said. It's already evening as I head home. Normally I would be annoyed at walking home so late, but after today, there's no way I can be upset. I run through a checklist of what happened today to reaffirm I'm not dreaming. I helped out at the festival, got to spend a lot of time with Yuri, and in the classroom, we shared something and it meant a lot to both of us. We had to say our goodbyes before it got too late, but everything about today is still setting in front of me, in for me. I feel my phone buzz. A text from Yuri. Thank you for today. That was not her voice, whatever. Thank you for today. Yep, it really was a great day. Thank you as well. See you tomorrow. I'm assuming we went upstairs. I returned home without issue and attempt to sleep. Everything kept replaying in my head, giddy excitement filling me every time. I don't know how long it took me to finally drift off, but sleep did not come easily. It's the day after the festival. Honestly, I barely remember how or when I fell asleep, but I somehow dragged myself back to school. I think the lesson is chemistry? Huh. I could get away with sleeping for just a little bit. I guess not. Something just hit my head, I think. It takes a moment for me to locate the offending object lying next to me, to the leg of my chair. A crumpled paper. Amazing. I unwrapped the note, squinting to make out the scrawl. Meet me outside after class. That's it, really? Well, I'm tempted to toss it back in their general direction. Something keeps me holding it. I have the feeling it shouldn't be ignored. Technically, I'm missing literature club for a dumb note. Then again, after what happened at the festival, I should probably sort through my own feelings before seeing her again. Some 5-10 minutes later, a scruffy-looking upperclassman arrives. Should I? How do I speak? Hey, you actually showed up. I don't know what this was, but whatever. What's that supposed to mean? Well, how many times have people usually listened to notes that randomly hit them in the back of the head? Well, I was curious, so tell me, why'd you bring me here? The guy puts on a diplomatic smile, like he's trying to make some kind of deal. There's no easy way for me to say this, but... You shouldn't be dating Yuri. Huh? Wait, what do you mean? I mean, aside from the fact that we aren't even... He raises his hands in an I know gesture. Look, I'm just saying, it would be your best interest to not get caught up with her. People saw you at the festival and, well... He shrugs. Over Yuri, literally anybody's a better choice. I know this will sound harsh, but there have been incidents. Yeah, incidents. Incidents. Look, I'm trying to be helpful. Steer clear of her, that's all I'll say. Are we then going to say you're a coward? What does this "you're a coward" mean? Are we going to say it to him? Because he doesn't tell us? we say, yeah, sure, would it actually be like, yeah, we're going to stay clear of it? Question is, what is the "you're a coward" directed to? Are we saying you're a coward if we're not dating Yuri? If we're not telling me what the incidents are? Are we trying to pry into these incidents when we say you're a coward? When we say, yeah, sure, will it actually be like, okay, we might actually want to avoid Yuri? That's the problem with choices like these. Yeah. Instance. I'll stay safe here, and if I feel like "you're a coward" is stupid, then I'll go back to "yeah, sure." Because I don't know what the "you're a coward" is directed to. I just can't keep quiet. You're a coward, you know that? He blinks, caught way off guard. Excuse me? I stare at him eye to eye. I don't need you, or even want you to tell me who I can or can't be with. And to think that you try and do all this all behind her back? I don't want any of what you're selling. I sling my back over my shoulder, leaving him slack-jawed. My mind races. Why would he care about us? What did Yuri ever do? Okay, so we aren't trying to be like you're prying into her. It's more like you're a coward, as in, the fuck do you mean with like, don't date Yuri? Just because there have been some type of incidents that he doesn't even tell us about, okay. Who the hell does he think he is? I will keep it that way. Because I don't know if I would say you're a coward or something along the lines, but I certainly have stuck with people with bad reputation sometimes. Not that I ever had like the most splendid of reputation, but I certainly won't like just be like, yeah, sure, like even if it isn't any of his business and I still end up spending time with that person, I won't even be like, yeah, sure, I'll take your advice, because no, I won't. I absolutely won't. Who the hell does he think he is? I should get going. I'll probably be able to catch some part of the rest of the literature club. Not sure how I'm going to face Yuri after this, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I slide open the literature club door and walk inside. Natsuki's strutting beside me, a bulky magazine folded up under her arm. I should ask her about Yuri. Despite their vitriol, they do seem to have been tolerating each other a little better lately. It wouldn't hurt to ask if Natsuki has heard anything, even if it's unlikely for her to know about what happened. Hey Natsuki, can I talk to you outside for a second? Sayuri and Monika both give me a look of confusion, but I shake my head slightly as I duck outside. A few seconds later, Natsuki walks out into the hall as well. Jeez, what the heck is this about? Natsuki abruptly stops, seeing the expression on my face. You look kind of worried. What's wrong? I don't bother being coy. I tell her everything. Some guy took me aside after last class. He said I should keep away from Yuri, for my own sake, actually. What's that even about? How could anyone say that about her? Natsuki chews on her bottom lip, staring at some point on the floor. I guess you finally heard, John. Rumors about Yuri show up from time to time, yeah. But you know that's all they are, right? Just rumors. You don't know anything else about it, then. What are the rumors about, anyway? The guy who mentioned them was pretty vague. It shouldn't matter what the rumors are, John. Like, I've gone to school long enough to know that rumors never end up being true anyway. Why should it be different for you? They're not super widespread rumors anyway. If they were, I guess Monika probably would have heard about it and done something by now. Or maybe she already tried it and it didn't work, but you get my point, right? You probably wouldn't want you to get involved with those rumors anyway. Natsuki raised her eyes to look at me. She really likes you, you know? I feel myself turning a little pink. Pink like Natsuki's hair? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe okay, everyone. It's time to share poems. Natsuki half straightening her blazer before walking off to retrieve her poem. I should probably go get mine as well. I came, I saw, I shared poems. And Yuri wasn't even there. Hey, John? I glanced over at Sayuri. She has a head bowed, kicking absent-mindedly at the gravel in our path. I might be being nosy, but what were you talking with Natsuki about? Oh, so that's it. We never really discussed it, and I thought she'd just forgotten. I never seemed to give her enough credit, I guess. John? Well, I think you know about Yuri and I, right? Sayuri nods, looking me over tentatively. Yeah? Well, it's like, there have been rumors. Rumors? I mean, somebody told me to stay away from Yuri. Sayuri seems to have the same reaction I did, confused and worried. That's mean. I know, but what can I do? He didn't tell me why of it. Sayuri gives me a tiny nod. I figured Natsuki might know about why she's so insulated, but she beat around the bush too. Do you know? I don't. Sorry, John. I reached over and prodded her cheek, causing her to help. Don't worry about it. It's my problem to deal with, okay? Sayuri shakes her head, hefting her backpack. John. Yeah? I need you to understand that I'm here for you. We're here for you. I know. But do you? I feel like you're only holding back because you don't trust us. Sayuri peers at me, her bubbly personality replaced by a serious demeanor. Well, if you have ideas, I'm welcome to hear them. Sayuri nods, pushing the tips of her fingers together. Well, why don't you invite her out? Then you can talk about it there. I was planning to, yeah. She claps her hands together, nodding. That should work. Just make sure you take her someplace nice. Someplace quiet, too. Nice? Well, you can't just take her anywhere, you know. Yeah, I know. Sayuri skips to a stop in front of my house. You better make a good impression. I'll be watching. I give a small laugh, waving. Keep me honest, okay? Sayuri doesn't answer back. A bookstore. That should be easy enough, right? Unless you're me, who spent what should have been my sleeping hours searching up the prime location for what might technically be our first date. In which case it feels more like pulling out your own tooth. I'm sure she'll love it. Sayuri grins, skipping alongside me as we head up to school. She was one who helped me put this together, so she might have a point. And she's known her longer too. Ah! Sayuri comes to an abrupt halt, eyes wide. While I'm looking around for whatever caused the reaction, she nudges me forward. It's Yuri! This is your chance! It is indeed Yuri, leaning on the street corner. Waiting for me? Maybe? I can only hope. I brush the front of my blazer, mouth suddenly gone dry. Sayuri nudges me forward. Go on, this is what you planned, isn't it? I stumble forward, rehearsing a greeting as Yuri turns to me. Hi there. We say at the same time. If I could sing into the ground now, I would. At the very least, Yuri looks just as embarrassed. Sayuri told me you passed this way. I glanced quickly over my shoulder. The woman in question has already fled the scene. Just as well, I guess. Well, here I am now at least. Do you want to get going? Yuri nods quickly, and we quickly fall in step next to one another. I clear my throat nervously. Did you have fun at the festival? It was the first time I had actually helped the club set their booth up. Yuri nods, a smile spreading across her face. I did. It was very heartening to see students enjoy our poetry. You mean your poetry, right? Yuri turns visibly pink. What's the name of the amalgamation of Yuri and Natsuki? That's not true. Your poems at least give me inspiration. I laugh, which makes her turn to me, a pout on her face. I just read words and hope they stick. That was entirely you, and it was really good. Well, thank you. We keep walking in silence, but it's more of a cozy one than an awkward one. As we approach the school gates, I slow to a stop. And one more thing. Oh, you're still okay with our date after school? Oh, yes, definitely. Yuri perks up, suddenly on edge. Okay, that's great. Meet back here? Yuri nods quickly, grinning still. I should head to class soon. Right. She strolls off, leaving me to get to my own class. I know right now I won't be able to concentrate on schooling. Win some, lose some, I guess. In the end, it didn't take much time, then Yuri and I are on a date to excuse us from the literature club, and for Yuri to turn an interesting shade of burgundy. Oh god, I forgot how you speak it in English. I've heard it before, but I forgot. You didn't have to do that, John. Well, yeah, but I didn't want to just buzz off without any warning. You're not, smiling faintly. Anyway, the bookstore is really close. You might have already been there, actually. Well, maybe, but not accompanied. I smile in spite of myself, nudging her with my shoulder. First time for everything, right? It's always the same bookstore. You and I walk into the bookstore I picked for our date. Anxiety swells throughout my body as I'm afraid of the possibility that this won't go well. Luckily, there's a noticeably small number of people currently in the store, making it a great location for a date. At least that's what I hope. So, here we are. You look over at me, struggling to make eye contact. Yes, we are. She looks about as nervous as I am, if not more. Man, what do I even do here? People go to bookstores to shop for books, right? But where do I even start? I guess it'd be easy enough to browse through and see if anything looks interesting. You like horror, right, Yuri? Yuri peeks over me again and nods her head. That is correct. I do enjoy horror. Would you like to look through the horror aisle then? The nervous expression on Yuri's face returns. Only if you want to. I don't think you completely got what I was driving at, but it doesn't matter. Fuck. We make our way to the horror aisle of books, and then freeze up once we do. Man, now what? I know nothing about books. You're basically an expert, so what am I supposed to do that won't make me look like an idiot? Show interest. Ask her about the books if she's read them before and if the premise sounds interesting to her. I feel like that could be enough because even if you don't know much about someone's hobby, if you show interest in their hobby, then that's already very beautiful. It's already very nice of you and can bring you closer. And if you really love that person, I feel like you will take more of an interest in it too. Reminds me of two friends. One of them really liked gardening and flowers, and while the other one liked nature. She was never one of the type who enjoyed gardening and stuff. But then they got together, and she could just listen to him talking about gardening talk. She could just listen to him talk about gardening all day. She could just listen to talk. And she said that it was genuinely interesting to her because it was from this person that she was loved. For now, I glance at the various titles. If nothing else, at least I can admire the well-drawn cover art. Have you found the book you're interested in, John? Yuri catches me off guard and I make a small jump backwards. Ah, I was just eyeing. I grab the nearest book next to me, not taking enough time to actually check what it is. At the Mountains of Madness. Yeah, I mean, the cover art looks pretty cool, I think. The empty, snowy landscape makes you feel a little bit of dread, see? Well, that doesn't quite mean the book itself is spectacular, but the front cover does make an impression. You think so? Yes, it's interesting how the cover art for a book can be the most iconic thing about it, even if the writing is subpar. I still feel a bit lost about how to interpret books and writing and all that, but Yuri seems like she knows what she's talking about as usual. She's right, though. I think I'll buy this one then. Is there anything you're interested in here, Yuri? Well, I go to this bookstore all the time and there doesn't appear to be any new stock, so... He looks away frustrated. Oh my god, it froze for a moment there. I should have told you I always go here so you could have picked a different location. I can't even go without ruining our first date. Yuri's face falls even further. No, it's not ruined. The location is what matters. I still enjoy being with you, even though I know nothing about books. Then maybe she can tell you about why she deems like this book good, or like this book less good, or like why she isn't interested in these books here. Really? Yuri perks up a bit. Yeah, I'm on this date to spend time with you. Sure, it's unfortunate I picked a bookstore where there's no books you haven't read already passed on, but who cares? That's not going to stop me from appreciating being with you. We even talked earlier about how this might happen, and that I was fully prepared for it. Besides, I never even told you the specific location of where a date would be anyway. You have no reason to blame yourself. Well, if that's how you feel... Thank you, John. I'm enjoying being with you as well. Awkward silence fills the air. Now what? Well, we both stare at the ground. Let's sit down. Once I buy this, I mean... After quickly purchasing the book, we move to a nearby table and sit down next to each other. Should we meet together again then? Maybe later, but I wanted to talk for a bit first. I see, that's understandable. So, how have you been? I've been well enough. An awkward silence from before... The awkward silence from before returns with a vengeance. Yuri lays her head down on the table, resting on top of her crossed arms. What am I supposed to do, John? I have no idea how dates are supposed to work. All I'm doing is wasting your time. No, not at all. Like I said, just being next to you is great. Words aren't always everything. Yuri seems a bit calm after that comment. I suppose so. I decide to change the subject. So, I know you're into poetry, but have you ever tried writing your own book? Well, I've dabbled in writing fiction before, I suppose. But publishing a book would require me to share my work, and, well, nobody would want to read that. Come on, Yuri. I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. It's true, though. Please, your poetry is incredible, so I bet that if you tried writing a full-fledged book, it would be amazing. Poetry and books are very different, but I do feel like, given how much Yuri reads, she has probably a lot of experience with, it's important to read so you can write a book, because it's important to see how to, you kind of need, the books to kind of see how books are, structured and stuff like that. I don't know if structured is the right word, just... When I write, it takes a bit of something. By the way, I like this OST, sorry. I just felt the need to say that, but when I write a book, it's very different compared to writing poetry yet. But I feel like, since she reads a lot, she would be able to also write a good book. Of course, you also need, creativity and stuff like that to write a book. And also logical thinking of, is this scene important or not? But I feel like that can get easier if you, really immerse yourself in other people's works. If you really look at the book and analyze how it's written, then you're more likely to probably understand that there are scenes that you might need to leave out, and scenes that are Chekhov's gun type of stuff as well. because you kind of see it more frequently, and if you analyze it, you also pick up on these things and also can include it in your own work. And since Yuri immerses herself in these books, I feel like she would be able to write a good book. Maybe not a large one for the first time, but maybe like a shorter one, or a mediocre one. I feel like she should first see how that's received, and then she can move on. I also plan on something similar when I publish my books. I still want to make sure that it's in a way that I'm satisfied with it. The problem is I first wrote them on paper because I had more possibilities there at first. And now I'm putting them onto the PC. I plan on most likely publishing my books first, like my stories first, online somewhere for free, so that people can read it and that I can see the feedback and see what people feel I've done right or wrong, so that I can see for my future works, and then I can see if I want to publish it. I'm not sure if I really publish it as an income type of thing. I don't think I really feel the need to do that. I feel like I'll be satisfied just putting my stories out there online for random people to read and hopefully enjoy. But you know what? I might want to try it at some point. I'm still fairly young, and if nothing goes wrong, I hopefully have still a few years to think about that. Hopefully. And so I can still think about it, but yeah. I certainly want at first to publish it online, that's for sure. And see what people say about it. I'm not sure if you can make that comparison that easily. Writing poetry is much more different than writing a traditional story. Thank you, Yuri. Dealing with a narrative structure, having to develop interesting characters, and all the other facets of that type of writing. It's a huge undertaking, and it's difficult for reasons other than why writing well done poetry is difficult. Yeah, there's a lot of differences between those. I remember my first poem read more like a short story, actually. I recently found it. But you'd be disappointed if you read any of my attempts at a novel. I'm not too sure about it. There's a reason why I enjoyed the feedback of my friends. They too tell me if there's a scene that's maybe this scene is necessary, or this is written weirdly, why do you say this, or this word is repeated too many times. But they're still my friends, and due to that, if you really care for someone, sometimes their work just looks so much better to you. I've read some poems from my friends and was like, wow, this is amazing, because I know the feelings behind it. And then I've read poems that were actually quite similar in line, and I've noticed a few problems with it, and I read my friends' poems again, and yeah, there were a few structural things that could be improved. I just didn't notice it at first glance, because I know the feelings of my friends, and I felt the feelings of my friends. And feelings are very important when it comes to poetry. Also novel writing, but a bit differently there, and it's conveyed differently there compared to poetry. So I feel like if you really love someone also romantically and potentially sexually, then if you read something that even isn't perfect, or I don't think there is perfect writing actually. There could always be something that's just subjectively not yours. But something very good. Even if you not reading something extremely good from your loved one, that you still might just enjoy it because you know what your loved one did for that book. And when you read the book of a stranger, then there's a bit of a distance there that allows you to look at it a bit more differently. I wouldn't exactly say objectively, for a handful of reasons, because I don't think when it comes to writing there are specific objective points, but specific things will still be led by your feelings. For example, that's the reason why I don't play mods that are comical, at least unless one I have in mind. There's one I have in mind, but the majority of them I'm just scared that I'm not a fan of comedy, especially not dark comedy. It's not the way I cope with things. It's not the type of humor I enjoy in general. And the story could be good, and I could acknowledge specific things that are good about it, but my vision, my personal perspective of the mod would be tainted by the humor I don't like. So that's why I don't want to rate the mod unfairly because of that. If I know it's not my type, I shouldn't be playing it. If I know it's not for me, then it doesn't have to be for me. Not every mod is going to be enjoyable for me, even if it has like is enjoyable to someone else. And like the subjective part is also present, especially when you're reading like or seeing the drawing of someone you love. Because you just know this person put a lot of effort into it. You know the feelings that went into it. You know that they might be writing from personal experience there or something too. And due to that, it's a bit more difficult to tell if it's like another person would be able to also read it from it because you know the person. And therefore you can read what's the feelings there more easily. And I feel like if you like read like the book of a loved one, even if it wasn't that good, you'd still be like, at the very least, like, to you it's good in some way, shape or form. I doubt that. Maybe we could read your work sometime together. Yeah, I feel like it could be cool. If you really want to, maybe one day. A smile tugs at the corners of Yuri's lips. Anyway, how about that book I just bought? Let's see what it's like. Yes, let's. She said it's mediocre. You and I read the book for a few hours, stopping about halfway through. What do you think of it? My impressions? It's hard to judge without having read the full story, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm currently considering playing a few demos of mods that have not been finished and probably never will be finished, some of them. Like Our Time, I'm certain won't be finished, but I still want to play it, and I'll just have to see how I'll rate that because I can't rate it like a full mod. Because it's like, there's no character development in this mod. Maybe because it would have been in the full mod, because it's like just a snippet of the story there. Yeah, I'm not an expert on what good horror is like, but I had fun reading it, I think. The Lovecraft guy had a dark mind. This Lovecraft guy. It was pretty creepy, which I guess fits considering the genre, but this has kind of been a very new experience to me. Having you right next to me made it a lot more comfortable though. Yuri's cheeks quickly reddened. Thank you. We should read the rest of this sometime. I would like that. I've really enjoyed this date, Yuri. That's right, I had forgotten this was a date. I've enjoyed it as well. We look into each other's eyes until Yuri recoils from nervousness. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this. It's fine, Yuri. We can go as slow or fast as you'd like. You must really like me, don't you? To be able to tolerate my company and actually enjoy going to a bookstore with me. There's not many people like that. I'm thankful that you feel the way how you do about me. Hey, I'm sure there's a lot of people there who'd be honored to be in a relationship with you. I'm honestly shocked that you even like me. In a good way, of course. Less people than you think, John. A lot less. Yuri seems to be saddened from this conversation. Have to find a way to salvage this. Well, you've got me now, right? And the rest of the literature club, too. Regardless of how many people like you, what's important is that there are people who do like you. What more do you need? I suppose that's one way to put it. Yuri seems slightly happier after hearing that, chuckling softly to herself. I'd love to spend more time with you today, but it's going to be the evening soon, isn't it? We should probably get ready to leave now. Disappointment flits across Yuri's face. True. I wish we could be together for longer, but I guess this is how it is. Yeah, sadly so. We hold hands together as we leave the store. As we walk, though, I notice a certain someone on the sidewalk. That guy. He's from my school, isn't he? The one who warned me off. As I stop to look over at him, he spots us. A small smirk spreads over his face as we simultaneously recognize one another. John? I look away and begin walking again. Sorry, it's nothing. Yeah, it would make sense to see him around town every once in a while, I think. Why did why did this time feel so ominous? A premonition? Maybe the smirk. Yeah, that was sort of creepy. Not that it matters, I guess. And wasn't I supposed to talk about the rumors going on with Yuri? Ugh, I guess I'll just have to wait until next time. It's been a week or so since my last date with Yuri. I had planned to talk to her about the rumors I had heard about before, but couldn't muster up the courage to do so. I feel like it's a heavy topic, and I don't want to screw it up. Nothing particularly bad has come up as a result of those rumors, though. As much as I'd love to live in blissful ignorance forever, I'm going to have to talk to Yuri about it sooner or later, so I guess I may as well get it over with. Promptly getting out of bed, I checked my phone to see a text from Yuri sent a few minutes ago. Good morning, John. At least Yuri still trusts me. I sort of feel bad about that. All the better to get this out in the open. Once I'm done texting her back, I get ready for school and then head off. Once my classes are over, I head over to the literature club, my anxiety continuing to build up in the pit of my stomach. As per usual, I spot Yuri reading a book I almost said at a certain desk. At a desk. Monika and Yuri both tried greeting me, but it goes in one ear and out the other as I pace over to Yuri. Hey. Yuri turns and notices me. She quickly closed the book she's reading, her fingers caught between the page she was reading as a pseudo bookmark. Hello, John. I apologize for not noticing you as you came in. It's fine, don't worry about it. There was something I wanted to talk to you about, though. A vaguely nervous look crosses Yuri's face. See, there's, how do I even word this? Basically, I'm a stuttering mess right now. Take your time, John. I managed to blather what's on my mind. There's been rumors about us. What? Way to go. This guy, who's one of my classmates, he came up to me. He said something about there being incidents involving you, and that I shouldn't get caught up with you. I know it's not true. Yeah, it's definitely not true. But what are we going to do, Yuri? You know how rumors go. They keep getting worse and worse until, a melancholic look passes over her face. Yuri? This was a bad idea from the start, wasn't it? I knew that all I would do is cause problems for you. I'm sorry, John. This was all a mistake. I noticed Monika hesitantly come over. Is everything okay over here? I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but perhaps you'd want to do this outside of the clubroom? I mean, you don't have to take my suggestion, but are you alright? We're fine, Monika. Just please let us figure this out ourselves. Monika nodded silently, going back and guiding Natsuki and Sayuri to the far side of the classroom. I really just don't want to end up dragging anyone else into this. John, Look, Yuri, the rumors don't seem to have gotten too bad. If they did, we'd probably be hearing more of them, right? Not necessarily true, but it's what I'm going with for now. First, we need to calm down. How about we just go out someplace after school? Yuri still seems frightened. Are you sure? Yeah, it'll be a great way to take our minds off all of this. Because if we do decide we want to do something about the rumors, then we should make sure we're calm first, right? I suppose that might take off a bit of stress. If you absolutely think this will work, then I can oblige. We can leave right after school even. We'll go to a park or something. That sounds fine, right? I say that, but I think I'm just as anxious as Yuri is. I don't even know if going on a date will work, but I have to try. Once literature club is over, you and I get up together and walk outside the school. We have each other. I know for a fact that we'll be fine in the end. A gentle breeze blows past. The sun shines through the clouds, warming the air to just the right temperature. There's nobody here but us. Nobody but us to enjoy a perfect date at a park. This is a pretty nice place, huh, Yuri? I turned to Yuri, sitting next to me on a bench. Yes, this location is quite nice. It's incredibly peaceful as well. Yeah, the real highlight is getting to spend time with you, though. I motioned for you to scoot closer to me. Really? Are you sure that's okay? Of course! We're on a date after all. I suppose that's true. Yuri slowly scoots closer to me as I put my arm around her. This is great, isn't it? Or at least good, if nothing else. This is nice, I'll admit. That's what I thought. I feel kinda bad that I didn't pick this spot for our first date, but whatever. The fact that you're considerate enough to feel remorse for even small things like that. My feelings for you keep growing stronger, John. After saying that, Yuri quickly scoots away. Whoa! You okay, Yuri? That was too forward for me, wasn't it? You might think I'm trying to take things too quickly. I'm so sorry, John. Not at all, Yuri. I'm perfectly fine with it. I find it romantic, actually. Are you sure? Yes, Yuri. I'm sure. Yuri scoots back little by little. Thank you for not getting upset, John. You know those rumors are false, right? You said you do, but I wouldn't fault you for being mistaken. No rumor is ever going to change how I feel about you, Yuri. Even though I'm not totally sure what those people have in mind, I know that it's not true. I love you, Yuri. That's all that matters. Thank you, John. The day slowly progresses as Yuri and I sit, hiding in the park. We sometimes talk to each other throughout it, but for the most part we're enjoying the tranquil silence in one another. You know, Yuri, about what you said earlier. I think my feelings for you are getting stronger too. Really? Yuri looks surprised. Yeah! You've got a lot of great qualities. I think it's cool how much passion you have for stuff like poetry. You're flattering me too much, John. But that's something I like about you. The way you respect me, no matter how involved I am in my interests. Yuri looks up at me and leans in. I follow suit. Our lips are barely inches away from each other. Closer and closer. Damn it. What? It's not supposed to rain until tomorrow! The mood is ruined as the sky splits open in a fit of thunder, dousing us in rain. Sorry, I'm saving that for myself. I take Yuri's hand and make a break for it, pulling her through the streets. We manage to find some shelter even if it's not much. Ugh. I should have tried sooner. I'm sorry, John. No, it's fine. Just not something I expected. The rain pours harder. What do we do now? Well, we could spend some more time at your house. Only if you want to, of course. Yuri is flustered, but understand what she's saying nonetheless. We can go back to my house, sure. Might as well get up now before the rain gets any worse. I agree. As we dash up to my house, I open my front door and we step in. Much better. Want a seat, Yuri? Seeing as you're offering me one, it'd be rude. It'd be rude for me to not to turn it down. Yuri makes her way over to the living room couch and sits down as I proceed to sit down next to her. The couch will end up wet, but it's not something that I really care enough to worry about right now. Man, if I had known it was going to rain, I would have brought an umbrella. Yuri shivers. It's fine. You didn't know it was going to rain. I know, but still. You seem pretty cold. Yuri realizes that she's been slightly shaking. I can live with it. I hope I haven't gotten your couch wet. Yuri quickly tries to get up. Hey, it's fine. Sit back down, please. I care more about you than some dumb couch. Yuri's reluctant but slowly sits down again. Here. I take off my jacket and give it to Yuri. Huh? Wear it. The outside's wet, but the inside is still warm. Are you sure? Yep. That's why I'm giving it to you. I see. Thank you, John. I can't let my girlfriend freeze to death, can I? Yuri quietly laughs. Even though the rainstorm interrupted our date, isn't the sound of rain incredible? I don't know if I've put much thought into it and thought into appreciating it, but it is kind of nice in a way. Yes, the magnificence of the constant droplets, accompanied with the thrashing sounds of lightning. It's truly beautiful. If only my budgies didn't hate it. I can see where you're coming from. Huh? Yuri's arms are tightly wrapped around me. You must be cold too, John. Why don't we warm each other up? You may hate me later for doing this, but I wanted to at least give it a try. I mean, sure, I've got no complaints about this. I've wrapped my arms. I've wrapped my arms around Yuri as well. Flustered. Things are definitely heating up in some sense, at least. We stayed there for about 20 minutes, just listening to the rain pour down. I think my phone buzz. My pocket vibrates with a notification. And instantly I take my phone out to see that a new email message has been sent to me. John? It's nothing, just an email. I'll read it as quickly as I can. But as I scan this email, something is very, very wrong. Subject, freak alert. You guys know how much of a freak Yuri is, right? I mean, we've all seen the scars, and we've all seen how she acts too. She gets turned on from cutting herself. Kinda messed up when you think about it, you know? Actually, even if you don't, but hey. Oh no. So, right, she's a loser, whatever. I mean, every school has its freaks. You know what's been even more messed up, though? She's dating John. Yep, you heard right, folks. Someone in the school was either desperate enough or just as much of a freak. Someone in the school was either desperate enough or just as much of a freak to date fucking Yuri. No. Please, no. But really, can you even guess what absolutely horrifying crap they do? I bet they both get turned on from cutting each other. Is that even legal? Probably not, but let's be real, do they care? It's just really funny, but also kind of absolutely disgustingly awful. Why can't I stop reading this? Why can this all be a bad dream? And you know what? I can see it now. Once they're done cutting each other, Yuri gets all hot and bothered. And then, well, I won't finish that sentence, but you know what they do, though. I'd be willing to place bets. The truth is out there, folks. Matter of fact, I'd be willing to place bets on what Yuri's other fetishes are, too. Blood play is an obvious one, but what else? Probably something super gross. Piss? I'd expect nothing less from her. I wonder what John's fetishes are, though. Think they're better or worse? You know, in a way, I'm happy to find out all this. You guys know what it's like to feel bad about yourself, right? But knowing that freaks like these exist, it makes me feel a bit better about myself, honestly. I hope that it makes all of you feel better, too, for not being human garbage. So yeah, I was just warning everyone. Long story short, stay away from Yuri and John. They'll probably go slicing up anybody nearby when they get the urge, so I want to make sure you all stay safe, alright? This can't be real. I look and, of course this message gets sent to my whole school. Why would it have been anything else? It's a natural progression of the rumors I thought were beneath us. John, here I am now. What do I do? Did the message get sent to Yuri too? If the message did get sent to Yuri, what the hell am I supposed to do about it? What the hell can I do about it? I feel like puking. Screw this. And another message. I get a notification, and it's a second email. Subject, what's up, Freako? It's from the asshole that sent the mass email, of course. This message is addressed to me specifically. Hey, John. You know, I hadn't planned on calling you by your name, but I think the students of our school need to know the what's what when it comes to you. Hope you like the new nickname either way. But seriously, how are you doing? I bet you and your girlfriend are cutting yourselves like you always do. I mean, stop from interrupting anything if that's what's happening. Anyways, I was saying your girlfriend didn't get a notification for the email, right? I didn't send it to her, but I'm going to shortly after sending this, so... Each sentence I read feels like a physical blow. It does a nice twisting in my chest. I bet you're freaking out, huh? But hey, you freak us out too, so it's basically karma. I dropped this email earlier today, you know, just thinking of the face I know you have right now. Now, you may think I'm doing this to get something out of you, but really, that's not it. Like I said, I'm trying to keep everyone safe. I know for a fact that sickos like you and Yuri can't be trusted. I mean, we've been down this road before with just Yuri, but another guy too? I'm only doing what's right. You get that, yeah? I... But enough of that from me. By the time you're done finishing reading this message, you're going to hear a wonderful little jingle on your girlfriend's phone. I wonder what that jingle is going to play for. What will her notification contain? I think you've already got a good guess what it is, though, unless you really are that stupid. Which wouldn't surprise me, but whatever. The real question is, how will you react? Okay, I'm done now. Later, Freako, and please take a shower, would ya? Thanks. My inside tie up into a knot as I hear Yuri's phone vibrate. It seems I have a notification as well. I don't have time to decide whether or not this is a good decision, but I rush to grab the phone from Yuri before she can turn on the screen. Yuri's confused, but I hardly pay attention to that as I go as quickly as I can to delete the email she just got. Friendly message from the student body, right. John, what are you doing with my phone? A few swipes and it's gone. As if it never existed. As if. Now I just need to come up with an excuse. Sorry, it was a spam email. I got one with the same title just a minute ago, so I thought that you had been sent the same one. It seems my hunch was right, too. Yuri looks skeptical, of course. I feel like she should be honest because it's going to, she'll get to know later on. Really? Yes, really. I promise, Yuri, it's nothing to worry about. You're absolutely sure? I am. I've already messed up. I'm already going to face the consequences of this soon enough. John, it was nothing important. Plus, if I seriously wanted to pull something with your phone, it would have taken me longer than 3 seconds to do so. You're acting suspicious, John. I think even you realize that. Let's just move on, okay? There's nothing to get worked up over, so why should we waste any time doing so? But I know I can't do that. I know it's not going to be the same after reading that email. I don't think anything will be the same after reading that email. I wonder how they're going to pull that off, because if they're going to make it and the entire school against us, that's incredibly unrealistic. Yeah, there are a lot of school jerks at school, jackasses, assholes, all of that. But as someone who's been in school and as someone who has also seen other people get very bad treatment in school, and someone who has self-harmed and it flew up at school, most people probably won't even really be like that into the rumors themselves. There are going to be the jackasses, of course, and we need to see how to handle this. But there are also going to be people who will be concerned. People who will shit on the jackasses for sending an email like that, because people like that do exist. In high school, too. And the majority of people probably won't care enough to make anything special out of it. Like, there are people who are going to not even believe it. Probably a lot of them. Because it's not that common knowledge that you can get turned on from self-harming, so a lot of them would just be like, that's a joke, because people like that aren't that common, and saying that she's like that is not, for most people, isn't going to just be like, oh yeah, right, I will be bad now. It'd just be like, maybe, but I don't really care, or just like, I don't even believe it, or things like that. The majority will not be the immensely different. The assholes will now have something to laugh about. That's something we need to be concerned about, yeah. They do exist. There can be many of them at a school. Some people may think about it at first and then forget it later on. A lot of people won't even care much about this message. And there will be people who be concerned for the subjects of the bullying as well. Potentially into pity territory, which is dangerous, but like not dangerous, but also not good. But there are people who also probably do self-harm there. It would be stupid to assume that it's now going to be the whole school against them. The problem is the assholes might speak louder now. So I'm interested to see how it's going to be pulled off. It's Monday, time to face the music. So far, Yuri hasn't figured out anything about the chain email that's already spread across the school, but it's only a matter of time. I want to expunge this before Yuri ever catches on. I don't even think I can, but I have to try. I can't stand to see her face when she realizes. I know exactly how that conversation will go down. My phone buzzes with a text. Yuri. I didn't see you in your usual place. Are you going to school today? I did rush to school today when I think about it. I slide down onto my seat, tapping out a brief response. Yeah, I need to take care of some business with the teacher before class. Sorry! Alright. I love you, John. I stuffed the phone back into my pocket and exhale softly. I have my plan. Find the source of the email first off. And if my instincts are anything to go on, I know just where to start. Hey. Talking to the guy who warned me about Yuri seems like it could give me a clue or two. The boy seems surprised for a second before he adopts a neutral expression, throwing up a hand. What was the voice? Yo, John. Hello. The conversation, if it could even be called that, stalls in the ground. He probably knows I'm suspicious. Now he's waiting for me to make the first move. I frown. Have you gotten any strange emails recently? He blinks and shakes his head. Nothing out of the ordinary, my man. Finishing with a shrug, he plays it off so well I doubt my first instincts that it was him. Doubt begins to creep up as I nod quietly, heading to my classroom. After that, there could always be others, and there could always be others, and I was running essentially with blinkers on all sides. I could have missed something obvious. But who else has the following but him to swing this? Well, there goes half my day. I raise my head from the desk, having previously just been napping away the time. History's the next class, so I should get my stuff for that. I've decided to get information in the afternoon. I'd be skipping going to the literature club, but I'd argue it's for a good cause. The back door of the classroom slides open and he steps back inside, followed by a group of his cronies. I try not to be too judgmental. I'm failing. It wasn't all me, actually. Well, of course not. But didn't the guy get on your case? You told us he did, at least. He shrugs, the same dismissive, contemptuous shrug. I mean, I did try to warn him, didn't I? This is just a fun idea I had, you know. Been a while since I've seen a good chain email go around. Yeah, that's true. Who knows, maybe he's into that. A cutting fetish? What do they call that anyway? Endorphins. A not good way of releasing endorphins. However, I do think knife play could be also related to that. Blood play, I guess, because also I think it's like blood play. Yeah, that. Wait, how do you know about that, huh? Another boy snorts. Probably was just going after someone with low self-esteem for the easy win. My blood boils over. Fuming, I stand up, stalking over to the huddled mass of boys. Only the blonde one, the one who started this mess, even bothers looking up. He looks at me, and his face shifts into some midpoint of confusion and humor. Yo, John, how you holding up? I'm not gonna listen any longer. So, then you punched him. The blond guy snorts, folding his arms. He's got the principal on his side, which means anything I say is irrelevant. I did start it, though, so it's only to be expected. I nod quietly. More than once, I should add. According to eyewitnesses, it looked like you were trying to kill him. I frowned, staring at the knot on his tie. I'm not apologizing. The stout principal sighs as he takes off his glasses, lacing his fingers together. I can't act about hearsay, but starting a fight is a serious offense. As for you, the principal looks at the boy and continues speaking. You may go. Have the nurse take a look at you if needed. I take some small satisfaction in seeing him wince as he tries to nod. It's childish, but I'll take what I can. John. Oh, joy. I am giving you a 2-day suspension. You will need to gather your things and call your family. I give a ragged sigh, nodding back. Yes, sir. And try to keep your temper in check for the next time. I bite the inside of my cheek, stifling a response. Instead, I turn on a heel and walk out. That went about as well as could be expected, really. I step from my bed. My phone has been buzzing non-stop for about 5 minutes. No doubt Sayori's trying to check in. Texting in class? I should scold her. I appreciate the concern, but right now I just need quiet. I need to figure out how to handle this because I've done something unbelievably stupid. I got so caught up in my own anger, I lost sight of what my actual goal was. I mean, maybe if I'm lucky, the fight I started will give them something else to gossip about. But then they'll probably drag Yuri into this. But if I know anything about the student body, it'll just get tacked on as extra material to the main story. I wouldn't call it student body. I would just call it this gossip body. And as someone who's been in high school for the same amount of years as a lot of people, I would say that the majority of gossip that comes from one corner is not the same that the majority of other gossip is going to be about. And rumors that are spread across entire classes, like I said, most people will probably not even end up caring all that much. Unless it's really directly, I feel like I should add, unless it's like really, really towards the class, then there probably will be a bit more rumors, but simply saying, this random person is doing this in their spare time, most people kind of ignore that. If it's like, wow, it's probable that this person did something and the class was kind of damaged from that, then it's going to be a bit more troublesome, but I've seen even that not, like, depending on the person, that also won't affect it that much. In Yuri's case, it would affect more, but even then there will be like a great portion of the students that genuinely won't care enough to engage with it. And people engage in it in a protective sense. There are people who do that. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised. This is a big high school. My school was small, and even there I've seen like multiple instances of self-harm. Not extremely many, but quite a few, and some of them for the same reasons. If this is a big school, I wouldn't be surprised if someone actually found some type of relation to Yuri, even in the sense that like they realized, due to the endorphins, I kind of also get like some type of almost sexual thrill from this. Because it's not extremely common. The endorphin release is fairly common, but like even if the sexual part isn't extremely common, there are probably a few people who will notice that there might be a relation to like endorphin release and something sexual, and therefore try to link it like that. Although given the message sent, like, it could just be that they saw her self-harming, and people could also just draw, they now think that she's turned on, even though she might not actually be turned on from that. Eventually, my phone stops buzzing. I turn over onto my side, curling into the sheets on the bed. Sunlight filters through my bedroom window as I drag myself out of bed. It's been 2 days, right? I checked the calendar on my phone. Yep, the suspension is over. The gravity situation sets in as I will myself as I will myself to stay awake. God, I actually got suspended. I never imagined. I really hurt someone, all because I checked my phone. Still nothing. Still no message from Yuri. Maybe I should say no. Right. Not anymore. I just don't know what to do. Where do I go from here? I've demolished my reputation at school. I got suspended. The other club members are probably afraid of me, and Yuri. Gah! The wall gains a new dent in it. I shake my clenched fist, recoiling from the pain. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. I need to get to school. I don't have time for all this. I just want things to be fixed somehow. But for now, I need to go to school. But something like this will probably never fully be fixed. Like, rumors like these do change how people act. This can change how people act for the rest of your school life, the rest of the time you're in school. For me, the problem is sometimes it's like, I've seen like books where it's like this girl against the entire school because for some reason the school is completely just a hive mind. There are no other people who could be outsiders. There are no other people who could be kind. There are no neutral people who don't care enough to be involved. So that's why I was a bit anxious the mod will go into that direction. I haven't seen relating like that though. It just seems like the rumors are there and people, there are certainly, like we just seen that the jerks certainly take advantage of that, and that is certainly true. It's just I've seen too many books where it's like whole student body versus one character and maybe their love interest. I make it outside to see Sayori ready and waiting for me. It's comforting to see that some things never change at least. Good morning, John. Morning. I weakly wave and we start on our way to school like nothing had happened this week. It's the start of the day and I already feel exhausted. I considered asking Sayori about the state of the club, but I don't think I could brace myself for any sort of negative answer. Instead, for a while I just trudged without a word. Sayori eventually breaks the silence in an attempt to lift the mood. So, what's on your mind? I pursed my lips as I considered just how much I actually want to tell her. Nothing much. I lied through my teeth. It hurts to lie like this to Sayori, but worrying about Yuri and my whole situation nearly consumed me. Not to mention it's all my fault anyway. Sayori shouldn't have to worry about me even more. Sayori gives me a quizzical look, no doubt seeing right through me. She said they were all there for him. Are you sure? Yeah, I reconsider what I'm doing. Sayori shortly revealed to me some of her deepest struggles. She had so much more substantial issues, and yet she chose to confess to me. Not that I was able to properly support her, and I had to rely on Monika helping her instead. Damn it. I feel another pang of guilt, but I shake my head and try to refocus. If she can share that much with me, I can at least share my own worries. No, actually. I've been so anxious the past few days. About Yuri and about myself after my outburst. I just don't know what to do, Sayori. Sayori frowns momentarily before returning to a softer, more comforting smile. I wouldn't beat yourself up over anything that happened, John. Maybe we can figure out something at the club later. I'm sure everyone would be more than happy to help out. Right, the literature club. It's nice to know that's still continuing at least. Thank you, Sayori. That sounds nice. We're almost at school. Soon we'll have to part ways until the afternoon. Honestly, I'm pretty sure Natsuki would be on his side. Because, I hope that the mod acknowledges, she's written poems that basically also imply that she also is getting, bullied to a certain extent. She would stand probably behind, John in this case. Oh, we're already here. Well, see you later, John. I wave goodbye to Sayori as we head to our respective classes. I wonder now where I'd be without a friend. To walk to school with every day. But with Sayori gone, my thoughts return to worrying about Yuri. She hasn't responded to me in 2 days. Will she even talk to me at the literature club? Will I even be able to what will I even be able to say to her when we see each other again? I hadn't even thought about it. Am I just going to screw everything up again? I'll cross that bridge when I get there, I suppose. Just have to make it through the classes today. Time slowed to an excruciating crawl during classes, but the school day is finally over. I take some time outside the clubroom door to gather myself. I don't know how everything will go down seeing Yuri again, but it's time to find out. Enter the classroom and see several girls perking up at my return. Yes, I was worried Yuri probably won't be there. Sayori, Monika, and Natsuki. Where's Yuri? These are the first words I say upon my return to the literature club. I don't even give a chance for conversation. Everyone else, even Sayori, looks bewildered at my outburst. They all glance nervously between each other. We thought you would know. She hasn't been here since your suspension. We assumed that you... Monika trails off as she sees me in shock. I feel my stomach drop into a massive pit. It occurs to me that I had been neglected to actually tell Sayori that Yuri and I haven't actually been communicating. I collapse into a desk and start to feel numb. I put my head in my hands. No one has heard from Yuri in 2 days. Is she okay? Where even is she? Is she... John, snap out of it! I was already thinking, like, is it Natsuki? I decided to pick the safe option for Sayori. John, step out of it! I look up, bewildered to find it was Natsuki of all people yelling at me. Come on, man! You're gonna give up that easily? I'm still stunned by everything to form a proper response. Monika and Sayori keep quiet. Natsuki softens a bit. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have shouted. I guess I've been anxious as well. Natsuki takes a seat at a desk next to me. I just don't know what to do. I thought Yuri had at least been in contact with the club. I shake my head and pull out my phone, aimlessly navigating menus as I weigh my options. Do I try reaching out again or... No. I'm caught off guard by Natsuki once again. I don't think you should. Knowing Yuri... I think she's better left on her own for this sort of thing. At least for now. Really? Yeah. I know you're worried, but I don't think trying to reach her would do anything good. It might just stress her out even more, honestly. I think about Yuri's habit of considering herself an inconvenience. Maybe Natsuki is right. But is it alright to basically just... wait? Do nothing and leave it all to Yuri? I do feel like Natsuki knows best. I kind of want to reach out to her because... what if she thinks... do nothing and leave it all on Yuri. Wait. Honestly, I'm not allowed to think too much about these sentences because... of how it turned out last time. The problem is I would have handled it pretty early on differently. Because I've right away tried to confront the rumors about it. I've been in a situation not exactly like this, not as severe as a chainmail sent to everybody in the class, but as a friend and me being like exiled from the class a bit. So due to that, I would have handled it very differently from the get-go. When my friends are in a tough spot, then I would have probably checked up on them earlier. Shit! I'll trust Natsuki in this one. I'm not sure. I feel like Yuri does need to sort her things out. The only thing that's making me doubt it a little bit is that we've pursued her before and she was fine with it. And we had like to constantly tell her, it's okay, we didn't do anything, you didn't do anything wrong. That's what's making me be like, maybe we should pursue. Yeah, the problem is I would have handled it very differently from the get-go. And I also wouldn't, like, break into a fight later. I have fought people before. I've broken someone's nose before in self-defense. But that wasn't related to the bullying because they never were physical. That was like random attackers on like streets attacking my friends for some reason that I don't even want to think about, given what I've already been through. I'll trust Natsuki, I'll wait. I put my phone back in my pocket. Yeah, you're right, Natsuki, thanks. Natsuki gives a thumbs up. Let's just wait a day and see if things change tomorrow. That sound good? I nod in agreement. I also like this host. Who is he? I might need... I've never included too much of this friend before in a video. I need to ask if this is okay first. Like, I know the limits of of most friends, so I know what to say and what I feel like could be a bit weird. But here I'll have to... there might have been a cut. I'm sorry if so. Sorry, I wasn't doing that. I'll take care of that later. I was checking on something else, sorry. Great. Great! Mark this conversation ending as her cue. Okay, everyone! Perhaps a bit of an unconventional meeting, but I think it turned out fine for today. Monika comes through with her unshakable leadership once again. But I can't help but wonder what will happen to the club's mood tomorrow if Yuri still isn't back. Should we wrap up then? Everyone nods in agreement, and we soon head our separate ways. I think I made the right choice, but I'm still anxious. It's never enjoyable to just wait. Sometimes you need to give people space. There have been moments where it's like really anxious too about... Of course, it's completely normal to be anxious about a lot of these things. I've been that way too, to just wait and sit for this friend. But sometimes people just need to work things out themselves. Personally, I'm actually not the type of person. I like to speak to people about it, to work out with it, but it sometimes can be a bit troublesome when the other person isn't a good listener. Please, Yuri, get back to me at some point, whenever you're ready. I just hope that's soon. I just need to hold out until then. It's the next day. All the members of the Literature Club are present. Since Yuri, a palpable heaviness hangs in the air. No one is in much of a mood to talk. I have still not heard nothing from Yuri. From the looks of the others, none of them have either. Monika tries to dispel the crushing silence. She tries to put on her trademark smile and harmonious tone. So, does anyone have any poems to share today? Sarah shakes her head. Natsuki just stares at her desk with a scowl. Monika looks to me, but I certainly don't have anything to offer either. I can muster no effort to conceal the brooding worry on my face. The wind leaves Monika's sails. I see. The subsequent pause is short but heavy. In that case, I suppose we should adjourn early today. Any objections? Still, no one can find the words. I guess that's all then. I hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon. If anyone needs anything, you're always welcome to talk to me. For one last attempt at a comforting smile, Monika takes her leave. Sayori soon follows suit, unable to hide a worried glance towards me as she leaves. If anything, I appreciate how Monika tried her best to continue the club despite the atmosphere, but that can only do so much. Natsuki pulls me aside before I could leave as well. Well, still nothing. Natsuki sighs. Okay. If anything, I'm glad you didn't go after her. I think you made the right choice. A growing doubt bars my response. Natsuki notices the hang-up. Hey, I know it's hard, but you've got to have some faith, alright? She's come back on her own before. It sucks sometimes, but all we can do is wait. We've offered all we can, and now we have to respect how she handles things. Capiche? But what if... What? What if something happens to her? What if... Natsuki cuts me off with a pointed glare. John, do you love Yuri or not? The question caught me off guard. Love? I certainly liked her and I enjoyed the time we spent together. All the moments we shared between us. I just want her to be happy. And I want to do all I can to help that happen. I do love her. Natsuki breaks into a smile and teasingly swings at my shoulder. There you go! That wasn't so hard, was it? Now, you can trust her with this, right? She's strong. Yeah. I should. You're right. Thank you, Natsuki. She's a friend of the whole club. We all care about her. Just hang in there and let us know when she comes back, alright? I nod, feeling some of the weight of my worries fade away. I'm kind of excited for the Natsuki to see how it's going to potentially also include Yuri as the actually the main wingman there. Sure thing. Before I can start to head out, Natsuki stops me one last time. If you make her cry like this again, I won't let you forget it, alright? Was that threat serious? Just kidding. I've gotta head home now. See ya! She smiles and waves at me as she exits the classroom, leaving me alone in the club room. Natsuki said she was kidding, but I certainly don't want to test if she is not or not. My mind drifts to Yuri once again. Some concern still lingers, but Natsuki has known Yuri for longer than I have. I resolve myself to trust Yuri and pray that the wait isn't too much longer. As I take my leave of the classroom, I find Sayori by the exit of the school, evidently waiting for me. She gives a cheerful smile as I approach. You didn't have to. Oh, come on! We've always walked together. Why should today be any different? I chuckle and give in to a smile of my own. You're right. Thank you, Sayori. Really. Sarah beams her 1,000-watt grin as we start to head home. A cool afternoon breeze brings refreshment to me and Sayori as we amble down the familiar street. She hasn't said anything since we departed school, nor have I, but I get the sense that if I asked, she'd be happy to talk. I make a mental note to think of a way to properly thank her at some point. The whole club, really. At this point, with all that's happened, I don't know where I'd be without them. We arrive home before too long. I face Sayori in front of our houses. Sayori, thank you for everything. Even though I blew my fuse and caused all the stress. Sayori maintains her ever-present smile. Don't be too down on yourself, John. We all have our own low points, but we don't let them define us, right? You're still my best friend, John. This won't change that. I know you're still you. Take it from me. I know it can be hard to pick yourself up at times. Don't think you have to deal with it all by yourself. Your friends are there for you. Sayori, was she always like this? Or have I just been blind to her unwavering support? After all that she's confided in me. Jeez, I'm dense sometimes, aren't I? I don't think I can thank you enough, Sayori. The whole club, honestly. Sayori giggles. That's what friends are for, isn't it? I'll be next door if you need someone to talk to. I'll be sure to let you know if I do. We embrace and head our separate ways to our houses. I'm home earlier than normal, but it still feels like it was a long day. I collapse onto a couch and do little more than aimlessly lie down for an indeterminate amount of time. My thoughts drift once more over the whirlwind of the past several days. Was it really only that long since this all started? Yeah, guess it was. It's Friday, right? And I have the whole weekend to ponder. While in my slump, I replay all the advice and encouragement I've been given. The plan is still waiting. Right, I can do that. Have faith in Yuri. Here at home, I'm left alone to stew in my own thoughts. All the assurances from the day only did so much to stave off my growing worry. A day with no response, sure, but more than that. Is everything really okay? Is there something more I should be doing? Yuri, I said I loved her today. I really do, right? Damn it! I should have to prove this to myself. What am I thinking? I envision flashbacks to all the time spent together, as if on cue, sharing our poems, the festival preparation, and the festival itself, the bookshop, and then the breakup. Damn it! If only I could go back in time and fix things. If I had just talked to Yuri more about how she felt about everything. If I had controlled my temper better. I shake my own frustration at myself. No, stop dwelling on what I should have done better. Just focus on what to do now. I tend to change my train of thought. Whenever I was with Yuri, I felt at ease. Seeing the way she carries herself. Maybe she doesn't see it, but I do. The way she blossoms whenever she talks about her passions. The way that, no matter what, she stayed honest to herself. I imagine she could have given up on her interests. Collecting knives? That's something I'm sure not many girls do. But she didn't give in. She's remained steadfast and even shared it with me. If I were in her position, I don't know if I could have done it the same. There are quite a few people I know who collect knives, but most of them are guys, true. Yuri's unwavering in her loves and hobbies despite the ridicule and rumors. Could I do something like that? To have that kind of strength? Maybe. Maybe someday. More and more I come to realize that I miss how things were. Reading together, working together, even overcoming our boundaries together with the hiccups that accompanied. Yuri was willing to separate from me because she wanted to preserve my reputation. It hurt obviously, but she put my well-being before herself. In its own way, it was selfless. It was short-sighted, but I now realize the scope of the intent. If we get back together, I should tell her how much she means to me in all this, properly. I'll set things right. I need to. Just whenever we can talk next. My new resolve makes it even harder to just lounge around on the couch. What else can I do right now? Why would she be silent for so long anyways? I know Natsuki said that Yuri can take care of herself, but for days? What is she even doing by herself? Reading would be my first guess. I feel my pulse quick in realization. Knives. She has a knife collection. Oh god, how could I be so stupid? My phone buzzes. A text? Who could... My heart skips a beat. It's Yuri. May I come over? At first, I'm not even sure I'm seeing this correctly. Is it really? I shake my head of any drowsiness just to make sure. It really is a text from Yuri asking if she can visit. My fingers start shaking as I try and type out an answer. How do I even respond to this? I mean, of course I want to see her again. But just like this after days of... No, stop overthinking it, just... Yes. There. It's not long before reply. Thank you. I'll be there soon. Soon, huh? It feels unreal. Did the past 2 days even happen? My shoulders slump as I realize how tense I had been. I can't help but laugh a little, getting this worked up over a girl coming over. It's not even the first time. So, I just have to wait a bit longer, don't I? Before too long, the doorbell rings. Before I get to the door, I pinch myself just in case. No, I'm not dreaming. I pull open the door. Standing before me is Yuri. It's really her, unharmed. We fall into a mutual embrace, seconds feel like hours. We reluctantly separate, knowing someone has to speak first. My mind is racing a mile a minute, trying to find some cohesive words. After the longest 2 days of my life, there's so much I want to say. We both stop and find ourselves smiling a little after trying to start off at the same time. After a pause, I nod to Yuri as a gesture for her to speak first. Thank you. Thank you for having me come over after everything I've put you through. No, don't worry about it. It's fine. You're okay, right? Yuri gives a quick, reassuring nod. Yes, I am. I'm sorry for taking so long to get back to you. Again, it's fine. I'm just glad to see you again. Yuri blushes and fidgets with her hair. I'm glad that... Would you like to go out together tomorrow? Stop stammering, damn it. Yes, of course! Where? Yuri tugs at her sleeve. It might be kind of weird to you. I'm sure it's a great place. The graveyard in the park. This time tomorrow. Is that alright with you? The graveyard, huh? That sounds great. I can't think of a more fitting place. Yuri beams, easily the most welcome sight I've seen as of late. Thank you. I promise I'll tell you everything, alright? I nod in agreement. Seems we both have a great deal we want to share. See you tomorrow. For one last embrace, Yuri turns to leave. She leaves me with one last assurance. I'm doing better now, John. Thank you for all your patience. It's the least I owe you, Yuri. You're the one who deserves thanks for putting up with me. Yuri leaves me with her enchanting smile as she departs. I can feel a burden lifting from my shoulders. I guess I'll get my chance after all. No matter how tomorrow goes, as long as I can tell her what she's done for me, I think things will turn out alright. I arrive at the park and take a moment to reassure myself this was all happening. It's a beautiful day outside. The park is tranquil. And nestled somewhere in the trees before me is Yuri, waiting for me in a small, secluded graveyard. I vaguely remember noticing the graveyard here on previous visits, but I had never imagined it would hold such significance now. Well, I better not keep her waiting. A cooling breeze rustles the trees around me as I make my way to the graveyard, taking care to not disturb any of the graves. My mind is swirling with the prospects of the meeting before me. It will be the first time you and I have gotten to talk properly since we separated days ago. There is so much I want to tell her, so much I want to apologize for, so many things I want to fix. I just hope I can do better, for both myself and for Yuri. I try and push the tempestuous thoughts back and focus on what's ahead. Before too long, I come upon Yuri, right where we had planned to meet. Her tall figure is practically ethereal with the scenery and soothing winds. She looks at peace, not right now with this bride, like she could contentedly fade into the landscape and stay here forever. Yuri lights up as she notices my approach. She addresses me as I stand with her among the headstones. I hope this place is acceptable to you. I doubt many people would enjoy spending time in a graveyard. You'd be surprised. Her trademark modesty helps set my mind at ease. It's a lovely spot. I don't mind at all. Yes, I come here when I need a quiet spot. It is very pleasant for reading or thinking. Just by standing here and taking in the surroundings, I'm inclined to agree. I can imagine. Peaceful, secluded, even calming in a way. Perfect for contemplation. And the dead are the only company that cannot judge. I'm struck by her poignant words. She is right after all. It makes me wonder just how much she's had to put up with to come up with that. Do you think it's weird all that to meet up together at a graveyard? If I had been asked that question before meeting Yuri, I would probably have said yes. Now, however, it feels right to be here. I don't think I would come up with a more fitting place for the wallflower, Yuri. Not at all. I think it's a great place. And thank you for sharing this and inviting me here. It clearly means a lot to you. Yuri beams at my affirmation. I'm glad. I haven't shared this place with many people. It means a lot to me as well that you think so highly of it. Yuri pauses for a moment, looking contemplative. She takes a deep breath. Her eyes meet mine with a renewed vigor. Liger? I'm not sure right now. John, thank you for coming here despite my lack of communication. Having you here today after everything that's happened, it reassures me. I smile warmly in hopes of bolstering her confidence. Of course, how could I say no, and a pang of guilt flares again as I have trouble meeting Yuri's gaze. Don't say it like it's all your fault. If anything, I should be apologizing for poor communication. I should have— John! That was a weird crack in my voice. The sudden outburst startles me. I'm unable to finish my statement out of shock before Yuri follows up with her interjection. Please. Her expression softens in apology. Don't be too hard on yourself. Since we met, you provided me with so much support, and I feel like I never properly reciprocated that support. You stood up for me like no one ever had before. Normally, I just stuck my head at all the teasing and rumors, but you tried to put a stop to them. For my sake, I thought I could handle it all. For a long time, I've typically preferred the company of books to people. The pages that took me away to faraway lands or gripped me in thrilling stories. Yuri's voice begins to shake. The pages that don't call you a freak for having a knife collection as a girl. The pages that don't shun you for reading during all your free time. Yuri, when we started dating, it was a whole new experience for me. I had never been so close to someone before. I really enjoyed it, but I could not figure out how to express it. I'm sorry, Chen, you deserve better. Someone who doesn't stumble over the words so much. Someone who won't get you caught up in bullying. Someone who can handle intimacy better. The sight of Yuri deflating pains my heart. If only she could see how much she's worth. I decisively grab Yuri's hand with both of mine. She looks up at me surprised. Find new resolve. Yuri, please don't apologize. Not once, ever. Not once have I ever regretted spending time with you. Don't worry about the intimacy or reciprocity or anything like that. It's all new to me too. And don't worry, I also stumble over my words. That's the kind of thing that we figure out together, at our own pace. Whatever bumps and hiccups there are along the way, just being with you makes it rewarding. And there are things that I could certainly have done better as well. I'm sorry for trying to keep secrets from you. I thought that it would be best for you to never see nasty things like the chain email. But I see now that I was wrong, and that you're much stronger than I am. But I... Yuri takes on a somber expression. I should show you something. Before I can respond, Yuri begins rolling up her left sleeve. On her form lay a small assortment of short, white scars. Realization sets in. I feel a pit in my stomach form as I try and formulate coherent words. Are these... Yuri nods, her expression remaining pensive. I started as an escape. When I was younger, I thought that if I could distract myself, the feelings of isolation would go away. The pain was an outlet. The idea of a desperation intense enough to drive Yuri to self-harm sent chills down my spine. But it did not end there. It became more than a distraction. I have difficulty getting closer to others. It was no different back then either. I would often find myself overeager in sharing my interests when attempting to make friends. I do not blame others for being weirded out. Few shared an interest in my favorite books. I don't know if I ever even got to mention my knives, but I'm sure that would have creeped them out more. My distraction turned into sort of punishment. A chastisement for my failures. I was sabotaging my own chances at friendships. I got overexcited. I shared too much too quickly, so I hurt myself more and more. Recompense. Excitement only brought me trouble. I was sure to ruin the situation at hand whenever I got overwhelmed. My heart sinks as I realize there is still more to the story. Yuri casts her eyes aside. I wanted to stop there. I really did. But something was nagging at me at all those times. It was small at first, a siren song whispering to me that I needed more, that the blades should never leave my arm. I realized. Yuri paused to gather herself. I realized that I got a certain high from cutting. I don't know how, but it took hold of me. Seeing my blood flow and feeling the cool steel go into my skin, all while remembering my own failures. I inwardly winced at the imagery, but I can't falter for Yuri. Not now. Now, whenever I find myself drawing particularly close to someone, I'm reminded of how much I've awkwardly fumbled. The itch grows. I hate it, and yet I depend on it. I feel powerless against it. I recall her raccoon poem, and how when we worked on the festival decorations, she had her sleeve rolled back. The grim pieces all started to fall into place. I don't want to live like this, but I can't tear myself away. Even now, Yuri's voice strains. I'm just a freak, ending up like this. My words fail me as I stand stunned by Yuri's reveals. To think she had a past and present like this. When some people see scars like these, they use them as another reason to belittle others. So I wear long sleeves all the time. She takes a deep breath. I haven't told anyone else about these scars. If you want to leave, I understand. They're unsightly after all. Silence hangs in the air. I'm desperately trying to think of what to say, to offer anything to Yuri. Here she is, revealing her past to me, and now is when I draw a blank. Not now! Please, any time, but now! Find the right words! Nothing. What is wrong with me? Yuri forces a weak smile. Well, thank you for listening, John. I am sorry to have gotten you caught up in so many ugly things. I'll take my leave now. She turns and starts to walk away. Is this how it ends? She just walks away? No, I can't let it. Yuri, wait! I call without knowing exactly what I'm going to say, but I'll figure something out. Sorry to open up about her problems with me, then I failed as a friend. I can't afford to fail another person dear to me. I'll finally work on setting things right with my words this time. Yuri turns back in surprise. Yuri, nothing you've told me makes me want to turn away. Believe me. I admire you a lot, Yuri. I should have told you earlier. I try and imagine myself in your position, and I don't know if I can do what you do. Your confessions about your tendencies. I gulp as I gather the words appropriate for the gravity of the subject. I can't imagine it's easy to confess. And thank you for the trust you put in me. It means a lot to me. Beyond that, just seeing the way you do things, it just makes me like you that much more. In the face of harassment for your hobbies or your mannerisms, you haven't given up. You have kept your passions despite all that. You could have tried acting different or finding new interests, but you didn't. Do you remember the festival? I remember standing around like some kind of moron. It was you that asked me to hold your hand. You had the courage to approach me like that. That all is why I find encouragement from you. You have bravery that I don't. Yuri's voice begins to quiver. Do you really mean all that? Even with... She trails off. I draw a bit closer. I do. I love reading with you. I love sharing poems with you. I love spending time with you. It makes me feel really happy seeing you enjoy yourself, you know? And hey, who cares that others think that you have a knife collection? Who cares what others think that you have a knife collection? I think it's really cool that you have one. But why? Why? Why do you enjoy my company so much? I feel my heartbeat quicken. I know how I feel now. Well, that's because I love you, Yuri. Tears begin to cloud Yuri's eyes. But I often embrace her, Yuri. She accepts. It sounds like the tears are in full force. Hearing her cry like this, I'm having a hard time keeping my own composure, but I have to try. Some people enjoy crying with others. Aren't I just a freak? I don't know if I deserve love like this. Yuri, that's nonsense. I'm an obsessive freak who harms herself because she has no other way to deal with her problems. I'm too weak to stop despite how badly I keep trying to. Not only that, but I don't know how to express myself to people without weirding them out. I broke up with you even though you were so nice to me. I didn't talk to you or anyone for days. How can you still love me after everything? Hearing you like this stings. The words from Nas can say you'll come back to me. No more than ever. I want to say the right thing. I don't quite know how I managed to articulate everything in the situation, but... Yuri, I just told you how, didn't I? We all have our highs, and we all have our lows. The low points can feel awful, but they don't define us. They're just points. We work on making it past them. I realized that when you broke up with me, it was because you didn't want me getting hurt by association with you. But you don't have to do that, alright? Just being with you. It makes the words of any harasser meaningless. Please. It's okay to think of yourself at times. I know you can keep yourself going, but you don't have to bear it all by yourself. I don't want to force support on you or anything, but I should have said this earlier, and I apologize. You've been there for me, and now it's my turn to be here for you. If you're feeling down or troubled, I'm here if you want someone to talk to, someone to lean on. Just whenever you feel like you need it, I'm here. John! Yuri hugs me tighter. My words come through the sobs. The soft smile now. Even though I harm myself and I don't want to hurt myself anymore or cause worry to others for this. Hearing you like this makes it hard to hold back my own tears. Oh, I think yeah, even then. And you know, that's why we have others. People can rely on, right? I have my own problems too. I've lashed out at people, and I think it wouldn't hurt getting more direction in my life either. But we don't have to tackle everything today. We can help each other gradually. We can work together on these things, right? And beyond that, I'm sure there are others who would listen to us should we need it. We can go one day at a time. Yuri, if you'll still have me, I won't give up on you. If you need anyone, I want to be the support that I failed to offer before. Because you've already helped me. I want to be there for you. The breeze blows. We stand together, the silent moment only punctuated by the occasional sobs. Thank you, John. Thank you. I feel a wetness on my cheeks. At first I think it's from Yuri's tears, but no. It's my own tears I feel rolling down my face. Here we are. Two high schoolers crying over our emotions in the graveyard, trying to figure things out. I bring an arm to my face in an attempt to wipe away my own tears, when I am surprised by interruption. It's alright to cry, John. This is a moment that warrants such, is it not? I smile at her logic and quietly agree between sobs. Thus we stand together for a moment longer. Eventually, we regain our composure and break from the hug. For a moment, we just look at each other, mutually unsure of what to say next. One day at a time. I like the sound of that. Yuri wrings her wrist, seemingly unconsciously. If we could be together again, like the way things were, that would make me really happy, and I promise I'll communicate with you more should something arise. And I'll stick to more proper applications for my knives. Just, I don't think I'm ready to tell the rest of the club about it. You don't have to if you don't want to. If I roll around the idea in my head a bit unsure, to ensure it sounds right. If needed, we can seek a professional. Is that alright? Yuri ponders for a few seconds before nodding in agreement. Yes, that's alright. I'll work on controlling myself better as well, and being a better listener. Yuri nods and smiles encouragingly. So, pick up where we left off then? Yes. That sounds wonderful. We stand once more, even though we both agree to it. It seems we weren't sure exactly how to pick things back up. We take a step closer, tentatively. And then another step. We're close. I can feel her breath on me. My heartbeat exhilarates once again. We both lean in slightly. Closer. Closer. I close my eyes in anticipation. Our lips gingerly meet. It was only for a second, but it was like time had stopped for that 1 second. We had kissed. I leaned back, opened my eyes, and realized we're both grinning like idiots. Maybe things would be alright after all. Hey, Yuri? Thanks for inviting me out here. Yuri turns to a familiar reserved demeanor. Of course, it was my pleasure. Yet again we stand, no words appropriate for the occasion. It really is a beautiful day today. After a moment, Yuri offers me her hand. I oblige with much more confidence than I had the last time the situation arose. Shall we be off then? Sure thing. We begin walking together out of the graveyard. Oh, John. I pause for Yuri's inquiry. What is it? I appreciate how you stood up for me at school and all, but I just do not wish for another confrontation like that. Should that boy taunt us again? I would prefer a non-violent response is all. I think it would be better for us overall. The thought alone of just seeing that smug-mouthed breather again irks me, but Yuri's right. Yeah, sure thing. If Yuri has things she's going to work on, then I should too. We match smiles and the reassurance and continue on our way out of the park. I'm sure we have a lot to figure out ahead of us. The first of which probably being getting the literature club back on track. But we can address that later. For now, we're content to just enjoy the moment. A short instant to catch our breath after all the turbulence. I'm optimistic now. I think things really can work out after all. It's the first day back at school since Yuri and I had our graveyard rendezvous. The school day has ended, and for the first time in a while, every member of the literature club is present. It's a scene I had sorely missed. There was much more celebration upon Yuri's return. A hole in the club was finally restored. And just like that, the club resumed its activities. And so it almost felt like nothing had really happened. Like the past week was just an empty gap in time. Everything feels right again. Thank you all for sharing your poems, everyone! Thank you for sharing your poems, everyone! Another successful meeting for the literature club. I'm looking forward to seeing what you all will prepare for tomorrow. As usual, Monika's leadership keeps the club running smoothly. Natsuki and Sayori soon make their leave. I catch Natsuki's eye as she heads out. She nods and smiles at me, which I hope means, looks like you did alright. I'm about to ask her if she wants to leave, and I remember something I still want to know. Hey Monika! On the day of the festival, I recall that you basically set up me and Yuri. Monika taps her chin in a mock thinking gesture. Oh, did I now? I guess you could spin it like that. What, are you not happy about it? No, don't get me wrong. I really appreciate it. I scratch my head. I just want to know why, I guess. Monika puts on her trademark grin without skipping a beat. Well, we all need a little push from our friends once in a while, don't we? I notice Yuri trying to hide a sheepish grin. Yeah, I guess we do. Thank you, Monika. Don't mention it. I'm just always looking out for my club members, that's all. Monika soon departs as well, leaving Yuri and I as the only ones remaining in the club room. It's nice being back in the club. Well, it sure is nice having you back. Everyone missed you. A frown of doubt flickers on Yuri's face. I caused all sorts of worry, didn't I? I put my hand on Yuri's shoulder. No one's going to hold a grudge against you, Yuri. Things happen, and everyone understands you taking some time for yourself. Well, just glad to see you here again. Me especially. Yuri's smile is thankfully restored. I'm fortunate to have such wonderful friends in my life then. And I'd say we're equally as lucky to have you. Well, I must be the most fortunate to have a boyfriend like you. Damn, she got me this time. I'm left grinning like an idiot without a response. Yuri laughs softly. She knows she got the upper hand on me there. I make a mental note to get her back at some point. For a moment, there's silence. It's not an awkward silence, but rather comfortable. Just a short time to appreciate each other's company. It's nice. Unfortunately, I figured that I need to break it at some point. Say, want to go to the bookstore later this week? I hear there are some new releases. I think we'd both like. I would love to. I will let you know when I'm available. I don't know if the novelty of going out with Yuri will ever wear off, but it's a nice feeling. Great, see you again! See you then! Our lips meet in a brief goodbye kiss. I bid Yuri farewell and begin to make my way off the clubroom. Suddenly, I'm cut off by a fist banging on the open door, followed that by a student blocking the doorway. A pit forms in my stomach as I realize it's the blonde cretin that I punched before. If I never saw his face again, it would be too soon. Why is he here now? Sup, lover boy? I look back at Yuri, her eyes wide in alarm, but she says nothing. I turn back to my harasser. I realized from some murmurs outside that he's probably brought some of his posé with him. Pose? What do you want? He snorts. Ha! What do I want indeed? Well, since you so lovingly gave me this gift last time. He points to a fading welt from where my punch landed. I just thought I'd return the favor in some way. I was already suspended while you got off scot-free for your email stunt. What more do you want? Well, I was just having a little harmless fun with my pals. Then when you had to go and make it personal. He cracks his knuckles. Your little sucker punch got me good last time. Had to get the principal involved because you got the drop on me. But now, his face twists into a sneer. It can be just the two of us. Mano, why mano? You agree it'll be more fair if we're both ready from the start, yeah? Given the group outside the classroom, I'm doubtful of his claims that he'll live up to his word. Of course, if you don't want to face me properly, you can just go. I tilt my head while wearing a confused scowl. Come again? Yeah, you two lovebugs are free to just waltz on out of here if you'd prefer. Of course, we've got a hot new round of emails to send out. I can feel my blood begin to roil in anger. I clench my fist unconsciously. A blow to the head might knock it out of me, though. At this statement, and the student steps behind him, I notice they're holding a phone in front of them, probably filming us. I bet the principal would love to see that even. I'm even feeling charitable today. I might feel like giving up on the emails without a fight. If you back and grovel on the ground in front of me anyway, then I might be so inclined to just forget this all happened. Wouldn't that be nice? He's got me backed into a corner here. His snide grin only grows wider as he sees me mentally wrestle with my options. I look back to Yuri again. She's shaking, eyes wide. I think back to what she asked of me this weekend. Use my words, huh? How effective would that be here, though? If we walk out, Yuri gets more ugly emails spread about her. I don't think I could bear to see more abuse aimed at her. If I fight this guy, he might finally shut up. But they're recording this. I can't imagine this would fly with the principal. They'd probably edit and remove all this guy's taunting too, so it looked like the instigator. Hell, I got lucky last time. Could I even take this guy in a straight fight? He's around my size, but I'm sure if I begged, he'd film that and spread it around too. Damn it all, what should I do? Well, got something to say? Or would you rather let your fist do the talking? I feel like Yuri would also hate if we got ourselves in trouble. I feel like use words as probably the most wise here. More nasty emails, but she knows we love her in spite of that, right? And she wanted us to not use violence. I always avoid violence when I can. I like the one time I broke someone's nose in self-defense, it was not like if I could have just run away with my friends, I probably would have, certainly. No, I won't let him get to me. Yuri's right. Not to mention, I told her I wouldn't snap again. I wish this bastard would just disappear, but I can't give him what he wants. I think I know what would really throw him for a loop. I take a deep breath and level my eyes with my harassers. Yeah, I'm sorry for hitting you like that before. It was wrong of me to attack you. Ha! I thought you said... Wait, what? I wave Yuri over. Come on, Yuri. These guys aren't worth our time. Let's go. I'm still angry, but I can't let these assheads see that. Yuri quickly nods and stands by my side. I take her hand in mine and make towards the classroom exit. The blonde boy is stunned and is having trouble forming proper sentences. You're really just... But I... Huh? His voice, I think, has changed again. But whatever, he doesn't deserve a proper voice. He visibly starts to lose his cool. That's it? That's really it, asshole! Well, I guess it is. The two of the boys, cronies, tried to block our way. What are you doing? Let me through. You realize I've got my own phone and have been recording this entire conversation, right? That was a bluff, of course, but it was such a gutsy move that they seemed to believe it and ran away without a word, hoping to not be associated with this, or at least didn't want to take any risks. You're bluffing, idiot! Stupid moron! His blustering sounds less and less composed. You really think so? I guess you want to keep digging that grave deeper, huh? It's not so hard to act tough when you're faking it, as it turns out. Lucky for me, I suppose. I'll send out more emails! You said that, yeah. Even more than I had planned. You're gonna have to wade through so much shit that the rumors are going to follow you decades from now. This is gonna last forever, you moron. You want that? The boy tries one last time to block my way. It's over, dude. I don't even care about this anymore. Just stop trying to bother us and I'll stop bothering you. You. He deflates as he realizes his threats don't hold weight anymore. He offers little resistance as I motion to him to step aside. Even he seems to be getting tired of this. This isn't over. Just you wait. I don't even bother giving him a second glance as Yuri and I walk hand in hand to the school exit. I like to imagine his mouth was hanging open in shock. Once they're out of earshot, I check in with Yuri. Sorry. That was selfish of me, wasn't it? Now they're going to send out more ugly emails. I'm a bit surprised when I see Yuri smiling warmly. No, that was the right thing to do. Thank you for listening, John. I'm sure that it was tempting to lash out at him. Yeah, it was, but... Are you sure you're alright with this? Absolutely. I believe you told me something akin to... It doesn't really matter what they think of us or what we do, right? Yeah, sorry. I did say that, didn't I? I thought I was the one who was working on apologizing less. I feel my face flush. She got me again. This option was much easier to choose than the other one. Because it wasn't a statement to make. There's I feel... Okay. You and I sat in the graveyard at the park, with our newly brought books in the back nearby. It's the end of another school week, our first one since getting back together. Yuri delicately selects a book from the bag. How about In the Stranger's Grove? Sounds great. Yuri nods in satisfaction, and we assume our familiar joint reading position. We place the book in our laps due to the lack of a desk, but it otherwise works the same. We start reading together. Sorry. The only sound we produce is the turning of pages at a steady pace. I lose track of time in the tranquility. I'm so absorbed in reading that I'm startled when Yuri pipes up. Did you see the set of emails going around this week? I had been hoping this wouldn't come up. I just wanted an afternoon to relax with you and forget about school trouble, but I guess this was unavoidable. Yeah. Guess that guy kept his word, huh? Yuri nods, bearing a neutral expression. Yes, we did. The slightest grin forms on Yuri's face. Although, it is slightly amusing to see what he came up with about us. I mentally reviewed what the newest round of emails contained. Yeah, guess he was more desperate this time. Man, if people believe this stuff... I shake my head, knowing full well that some people certainly still would. Most people would not even believe the first thing. Especially if there was like no image of her like cutting herself, people would even doubt it probably. Because high schoolers are still stupid kids. And I'm not much older now. I know I'm still probably like a stupid person. A stupid young adult. Stupid things will happen in all ages, but I feel like high school is still one of the times where it's still one of the rougher times. But from what I've seen, a lot of people are aware enough to be like, not even the first email, to not care enough about that either. Do the emails bother you at all, Yuri? She pauses to consider her response. Do they bother you? Hey, you can't just turn the question like that! Never mind. As sigh as I plan out my response. They still kinda do if we're being honest. That someone is trying so hard to just put us down. But I've got you, as well as the rest of the literature club. I think I'll manage. We don't need to be scared of the words of a hothead and his lackeys. Yuri leans in closer. I'll manage too then. I put an arm around Yuri, who matches my move. It's less convenient for reading, but I think we both prefer this position. We resume reading, the pace returning to what it was before. I notice that Yuri's left sleeve has fallen back enough to reveal scars. Yuri notices as well, but she doesn't pull her sleeve back up. She keeps invisible as she speaks once again. I think I'm going to start looking for a therapist. She faces me with quiet confidence. I'm ready now. I am surprised, but mostly relieved. Yuri, that's great. Do you need any help looking for one, or... I'll let you know if I do. Thank you. Of course. I can see Yuri is already becoming more sure of herself, spending time with her like this. It reminds me how thankful I am that I can be with her. It's hard to put the book down, but we eventually reach a stopping point. Yuri puts the book back in the bag, and we stand up. Shall we be off? Yeah. We join hands and exit the graveyard. New books in tow. Yuri told me that I should be the one to take them home. I had a good day today, Yuri. Book shopping, reading here. It was real nice. Yuri smiles warmly. I'm glad. I enjoyed today too. We should do this again sometime. Absolutely. An idea comes to mind. I'll get her this time. You know, Yuri, I'm lucky to have you in my life. She blushes at the surprise compliment. Well, I'm even lucky to have you. I expected something like this, but a warmth spreads across my face. But a warmth spreading across my face betrays me. We're left goofily smiling at each other as we walk together. I guess this one's a draw. The school year goes on. I feel like a full-blown member of the literature club now, all the more with Yuri at my side. Yuri continues to grow and stay true to herself. Any public opinion be damned. I too can say I'm doing better for myself. I've kept my outbursts under control, and I can say with confidence I found a place where I belong. We're never directly confronted by the bullies group again. They stick to emails, among other minor things, but even that dies down. Or maybe I just ignore it more and more. It doesn't really matter. Right now we have each other, and that's what's important. We can continue to grow together and overcome challenges, and we can talk to each other. whether life is easy or hard. We can work and figure things out, one day at a time. I do think this is a good statement. Maybe you want to hear some praises about making Yuri happy. Yeah, I resetted the game so I can... Otherwise I couldn't choose a new name. At the beginning of the Yuri route, you'll see me going every route and check out what else you can say here. I will do that at the beginning of the Monika playthrough. It will be probably the longest. This was pretty short. Oh, there's new things! You saved Yuri, didn't you? She's getting help and she has a pillar to stand on when all those nasty rumors come around. You two will run along, holding hands, reading books together, the whole thing. Or so the game says anyways. Really though, what's up with all the kids at the school? Geez, what school did we enroll into to have all of these kinds of people? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter to you. It does matter because it is kind of interesting. Since my friends and I come from very different schools and most of us have been in multiple ones, we kind of talk about it sometimes. So I do think it's a kind of interesting. People like these do exist at school. I have seen them. It's just I hate books who portray it as like all people at school are just jerks, especially the popular ones. So, because there is a lot of diversity in how students react to rumors, I personally pick up on them and then I pick up on them and then usually just continue to ignore them. Sometimes I know they're true, but it's not my business sometimes, because sometimes it's really not that serious. It's like this and that, this person lied about this and that, and sometimes it's just like, this doesn't concern me right now, this doesn't even concern the school, this doesn't concern the class, this person is kind of looking for attention right now, it's fine. It's not exactly bringing harm to anyone. Although I am a little concerned about whether this person is now doing fine. Because even if it is not cool to lie about attention, like... Still. You making rumors about it probably won't fix anything. But there are all kinds of people respect, like this and that. And handle them differently. After all, you're happy with Yuri. Is it a thing for me to say that? What I want is to check out the other endings. Yeah, now we just have Yuri here. This will be interesting for the Monika part because I'll start at the beginning experimenting a little bit around and then going each of the girls' routes. And then we'll just go the Yuri Monika route. I've decided I'll keep those in like longer videos. These Purist routes. I think for other mods I might do it differently, but these aren't like... This is like... These videos are long, but I feel like they're still manageable enough to put them in one video. If I like play longer routes where they like take like twice as long or like half of the time right now, I think at about 6 hours I'll make a cut definitely. I'll try to keep it short otherwise for other mods. And if they're more linear, then that won't be a problem to just make them like linear. Let's pick the other two options and see if we even get the confession scene, because I don't think so. I don't think she'll believe us there. I remember something vaguely sounding like, yeah, but my mind's in a completely different place. Good to hear on the same page. I know it's harsh, like I said, but it's for for both of your benefit. I nearly wretched his manufactured kindness. Why would he know about us? What did Yuri ever do? Who the hell does he think he is? Oh, about Yuri's self-harm. There's one part where I'm not exactly sure, like with the raccoon poem. As she explains, basically explains there to us. In the raccoon poem, her self-harm probably did not come from any part of tragedy. It probably came from like just the urge. I do feel like the latter half was perfectly fine though. And I'm glad that he was like, do you want help with like finding a therapist? And she was like, if I need help, I'll ask you. I think that's a good way to handle it. We'll pursue it now. I have to check out what happens if you go like one half and the other too. I nervously thumb my phone for some more, hovering over a send message button for Yuri. I can't just wait. Natsuki glares at me. I lower my phone under her judgmental eye. Yeah, I think you're right, Natsuki. I shake my head and put my phone in my pocket, discreetly hitting the button to send the text. Hopefully no one saw. Thanks, Natsuki. Natsuki raises an eyebrow in suspicion, but still responds with a nod. The room's mood is overall still muted, but Monika still takes this as her cue. Okay, everyone. Perhaps a bit of an unconventional meeting, but I think it was still productive. Shall we adjourn? Nobody ejects, and as soon as we're on our way out. Yuri, I'm sorry for bothering you again, but please just let me know you're alright. The rest of the week and weekend pass in a dull, listless manner. Then one day in the hallway, finally, Yuri! It's been a week since I last saw her. I don't even know what to say to her. Honestly, I'm just happy to see her at all again. Yuri, however, shies away from my greeting. Yuri, what's up? I was so worried. It's been so long. Everyone at the literature club was also worried, and I'm withdrawing from the club. We're all... Wait, what? Am I hearing things? Sorry, hold on. Yuri, are you serious? Yuri's voice wavers as she struggles to articulate. This is clearly hard on her as well. I hope you can forgive me someday, but I've caused everyone too much worry. You especially, John. You deserve better. Yuri, no, it's not like that. Please just tears begin to form for the both of us. This is for the best. I apologize over this decision, but seeing you hurt so much, I couldn't take it. I'm left speechless. I don't want to accept this. Please don't worry about me anymore. I have my books after all. Just like I always have. I'm assuming that this entire option brought this forth. Yuri ducks away before I can respond. God. I don't even know how to process this. Did I let her check up without Yuri? I want to collapse from thinking about the consequences. This is my fault, isn't it? I blew it. I blew it! Damn it! Natsuki was right. It's kind of my fault for stressing her out more by sending that last text. What have I done? Everything is spiraling. I know I should try and compose myself better, but I can't right now. No. The literature club continued, but it never recovered. The hole left by Yuri was just too big to fill. Though she never said much, her quiet presence was sorely missed. We persisted, but it still stung every time we took attendance. Occasionally, Yuri and I would catch each other's gaze in the hallway. Every time, we would look away just as quick. Eventually, I managed to rationalize it all in some weird, twisted manner. This is what she wants, right? So, maybe it's for the best that we're like this. Damn it. Sorry, Monika. I wanted to see... Well then, I didn't quite expect you to go off off track that quickly, but I guess we all make mistakes. You can't trust Natsuki, you know. Don't worry, Next time when I go for all the good routes, I also need to make sure to make no mistakes. I want to make Monika happy. I want to make Monika proud. I'm totally normal about Monika. Even though she and Yuri fight sometimes, she still knows her well enough to make a decent suggestion or two. I didn't think you'd be so easily shaken away just after one mistake, though. You said to make them happy, so I doubt you'll stop here. Sometimes Yuri just needs a bit of space, that's all. So still came away from you. Don't let me keep you. Though, I don't think this is the only important choice you'll make. You never know. Back to the title screen. Make the better choice this time, okay? Actually, I believe the other thing might not have much influence. It's like with the eating thing. Eat and sleep, I almost said. Fancy dinner. Normal thing. This was violence. Sorry, Yuri, forgive me. Screw this. Oh, Yuri, I'm so sorry. This has gone on for long enough, and no amount of pleading is going to get me out of it. I can't say I know too much about how to win a fight, but that doesn't matter to me. I've been too passive these past few weeks. If I want to end this, then I need to stand up for myself. Not just for myself, but also for Yuri. Especially Yuri. I know that she said to talk it out instead, but that's not going to work. I have to punch him. I've gone too far to back out now. And then it'll all be over. This'll all come to an end, and we'll never have to worry about it again. I hope you understand, Yuri. Oh, you stupid. I mean, I made this decision. We're stupid. That's why it sucks being a completionist sometimes. I'm glad my friends don't have this problem. When we ever play it again together, we probably won't go the bad routes. Because most of them probably aren't like, I want to show off all of this mod. I want to see every part of it and just be like, I don't want any of this. This was always going to be the only option left. You said our fist should be used should do the talking, right? Fine, I'll take up a storm then. The boy's eyes widen. Oh, so you... Oh, God. Oh, so you actually want to fight, huh? I didn't think you'd say that. In fact, I was warming up to the idea of you begging me to stop. Yeah, I can change my mind. I don't mind a fight anyway. Too late. What the hell? I sock the boy as hard as I can. He's hurt, but it doesn't faze him for long. I want to try to get out of the way in anticipation of him retaliating, but I'm grabbed by one of his goons and can't move. Think you're tough, huh? Before I know it, I'm knee in the stomach. I clutch my chest, beginning to stagger. Yuri gasps and tries running over to me, only to get pulled away by the boy's goons. Now beg. He kicks me again, this time knocking me to my knees. I catch Yuri running away, although I'm not sure where to. The boy notices me looking away and knees me yet again. Beg! Shit for brains! Everything hurts. There's gotta be a way to get out of this, but that asshole is going to hit me again if I don't give in, so I'll have to distract him for now. Yes? I struggle for breath, only to cough up blood. Why did I think I could take him on? There's gotta be something I can do. Anything. The principal isn't going to like seeing his floor stained, dude. His store faint. Whatever, wanna try that again? Look. The boy rolls his eyes. Do you need a script or something? Here, I'll tell you what you need to say. Say that you're sorry for being a freak that's trying to terrorize the school. Got it? I just need to keep going along, and then I can figure something out from there. I'm sorry. Keep going? I understand I'm no longer being held onto. I wonder if I can somehow salvage this. Hey! Look at me straight in the eye, asshead! I lean my head in closer, making sure my eyes are focused on him. Good. I'm sorry for... Oh, myself ain't there. Now say the rest. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do to you. Huh? Before the boy can react, I headbutt him. He recoils, dizzied by my attack. Still unable to counter my blow, I push him to the ground. I turn my head and glare towards everyone watching. You guys better get out of here get out before this gets any uglier. Everyone scrambles off. As I run back towards the boy, I notice him starting to talk again. I guess you won. It was really that easy, huh? Guess it didn't turn out being as drawn out as I expected. I think I'm safe to walk away now, though. I doubt he's going to come after me again now like this. I feel like Yuri will be now much more feel guilty about what happened. I can't believe I finally did it. It's over, Yuri. That's right, you ran off, didn't she? But she wouldn't desert me, so what she probably did was... No, I'm an idiot. Up here, you said? I turn around and find the worst person possible that could have shown up here. Of course it was the school principal. What's this exactly, John? Actually, I think the answer to that is clear. I look back at the boy, a smile quickly flashing across his mouth. Damn it! Was this part of his plan all along? You saw them recording you! Yuri freezes up, realizing what she just did. Embarrassment, shock, and fear cover her face. I was too late, wasn't I? Yuri. It's over, but none the way I'd hoped. I tried pleading my case to the principal, saying it was self-defense, but he didn't buy it. Maybe if I'd grabbed the phone that was being used to record the fight, I could have used it as evidence, but the one recording us ran away before I even thought about it. I showed him the bruises I had from the fight, but that didn't convince him either. It wasn't definite evidence, apparently, since I could have gotten those bruises from anywhere. The guy I had was too badly injured, but he did stay home from school for a few days. The principal didn't immediately give me a punishment, as he wanted to think about what the best option would be. Eventually did tell me that what my punishment was, but it didn't really matter. What happened with you was far worse than anything that could have happened to me. At first, Yuri didn't come to school for a week, but then she started attending again. After a month, however, she stopped showing up entirely. She never responded to any of my texts at this point during this. I asked Monika every day about where Yuri was, but she gave me the same answer every time. I don't know. She probably doesn't know, because it's now out of the script. But one day I noticed you in the school hallway. Hey Yuri, what's going on? Yuri struggles to make eye contact. I'm just bringing in a textbook I forgot to return. Huh? It all makes sense now. Wait, you don't mean? I started going to a different school, John. But why? It was already obvious why. I'm an idiot. The only thing that will come from me staying here is more misery. It's clear that I ruined everything. If I hadn't gone to alert the principal, you wouldn't have gotten in trouble. You don't know about that, Yuri. I think maybe my decision to try fighting him was doomed from the start. Besides, he did that to protect me. What if I wasn't able to hit him? I would have ended up seriously injured, so it would have been a good thing for the principal to have come. Please don't think it was your fault, Yuri. You were only doing what you thought was right. Yet it ended in disaster. That much cannot be denied. Even if you do think that it was your fault, Yuri, I'd forgive you any day. Not that I should have to, because again, I'm the one to blame here. I can't bear to look at you anymore, John. I can't even handle being around you without getting anxious. Not because of you, but because of me. I can't keep coming here knowing I've ruined your life. I'll be fine, Yuri. Trust me. I care way more about you than I care about myself. The punishment I received wasn't even that bad. It was pretty bad, yeah, but it's nothing I can move on from. I say that, but it must mean a lot more to Yuri than it does to me. Please don't worry. I promise it'll be fine. I promise. It's too late, John. We can still fix this here. Being around you makes me uncomfortable, John. Regardless of how you may feel, I won't change the guilt I hold that cannot be erased. I'm always going to feel that I failed you. That I'm worthless. That I deserve to be bullied. As long as I'm able to stay away from you, I can take comfort in knowing that I won't ruin your life any further. Yuri glances at her sleeve. Damn it, did she? Please, Yuri, I can help you. You're only one person, John. The only one that can help is myself. That can help me as myself. And it's for the better if that doesn't happen. Can't you at least try therapy? I have no interest in doing so, John. I only have one goal now, and that's to stay as far away from you as possible. It's for your own sake, I promise. Yuri, please! I was starting to sound like a broken record at this point, but what else could I do now? Many what-ifs swirl through my mind. What if I just talked things out instead of using violence? What if I ran away from that fight entirely? What if I gave in and backed like I was taught? But it doesn't matter anymore. What's done is done, right? There's no point in envisioning what I could have or should have done, because it's too late for that. I've made my choice, and now I'm dealing with the consequences. That's how life works, isn't it? I've just gotta grin and bear it. No matter how hard it may be, I can do that, can I? I can't. I can't take this anymore. I screw up. I gave Yuri enough anxiety to make her to switch schools, and I've lost my chance to help her recover from her self-harm, or at least encourage her to try therapy. Helping her is all I really cared about, and I couldn't assist her even a little bit. This is garbage. I keep thinking there's something I can do to fix this, but no, I've lost my chance. I've dug my own grave, and there's no getting out of it now. This is the reality that I must accept. John? I'm snapped out of my thoughts and face Yuri again. What is it? Yuri takes a deep breath. Please help me help you. How do you want me to do that? Never speak to me again. Yuri begins walking away, emanating an aura of sorrow. Yuri! As she disappears into the crowd of students, she turns around one last time. Goodbye, John. I love you. That's it then. I've lost. How do I move forward from this? I don't know if it's even possible. What I do know is that I sincerely loved Yuri, and I'd give anything to get her back. But that's never going to happen. Yuri never spoke to me again after that day. I went to her a few times, but she acted like she didn't know me and just walked away. But one day, several years later, I went to the bookstore that we used to go to on dates. My time with Yuri had given me a more appreciation for literature and encouraged me to actively read stories that weren't from manga or anime. At that bookstore, I was looking through the new releases. I noticed a book with Yuri's name on it. Did she actually end up becoming a novelist like she had talked about before? Curious about the book, I go to the cashier to buy it. Once they notice my name after I scan my credit card, they turn around and pull out a different copy of the book behind the counter. What's this for? The author personally came in and requested that we give this specific copy of her book to you the next time you came here. I don't know why, but yeah, here you go. I take the book and sit down, anxious for what I'm about to find inside. Why this copy? I open the cover and find a taped note in Yuri's handwriting. I read the note, and what's inside crushes me more than anything that could have. What I find is the ending to a tragic story that I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life. What I find is brutal closure that cannot be undone. What I find is the last time I'm going to hear from the girl I love. I'm sorry, John. I still love you. I'm sorry, Monika, I messed up once again. Yeah, I know, it's a stupid decision, that's why I didn't pick it the first time. So that happened. I didn't think you'd actually, fight. I'd ask if you're okay, but it wasn't, you. Though that seemed like a fairly easy choice to me. I hope you didn't pick it just to make her suffer. I didn't do it to suffer. I'm a completionist. I'm sorry. I think you already know what to do. You haven't even gotten started yet, right? You might stumble out of the gate, but I know you won't stop here. Maybe you won't go to the others, but I know that you've made this for food. Just looking. Yeah, Monika. But this is it for Yuri. I don't have anything major to say except this choice was much easier than the last one. I'll talk about the writing portions later. But yeah, I'm glad that the bullying, I feel like it wasn't touched enough upon, and I'm at the same kind of time I'm kind of glad that it didn't. I feel like it was a bit lacking of how it genuinely really ended up affecting them, like the exclusion, the isolation that can come from it. Even if they're still in the literature club, there's like parts of that, like when you at school and nobody wants to make a group project with you, or people actually kind of believe that. At the same time, I'm glad that they didn't do that, because otherwise it would come off again as if people just, high school students just believe every rumor that goes around and everybody cares about it. So I feel like it was handled well enough. But yeah, I feel like I'm not going to include that too much when I'm going to give the review. I'm going to mostly go into a few other bits. But I do think I liked the route, and I did like the image a lot. I also really liked Sayori's image, but for some reason this kind of affected me more. I'm not sure why though. But either way, next time Yuri, Natsuki route, and then we'll go get all the girls. My friend did tell me how to quote-unquote unlock Monika. But first, we gotta make Natsuki happy. And then we'll go experiment around a little bit. Go every route again. Make every girl happy under one name. And then we go with Monika route. But for now, enjoy this image. And yeah, have a nice day, evening, morning, afternoon, and stay safe.